Why?
I don't know.
You're allergic to going live?
I am allergic to content, basically.
That's fair.
All right, now we're live on YouTube. Hello. This is Radio Nowhere.
Yes, it's deck tack time.
Yes. And instead of Veggie and Nerd Girl, we have two other guys. Surprise!
I'm taking the role of Veggie, and you're taking the role of Nerd Girl.
Of course. All right.
How many decks do we have? We have 13 decks to go over today.
We have 13 decks to go over today.
That's not too bad. I got lots of notes here, so we can go over this. What's our first deck? What do we got?
Our first deck is sent to us by Terrible Norwegian Gaming. And they have a Myra the Magnificent deck for us. Why don't you take us through it?
So this deck here is based all around Myra. It is trying simply to cast instants and sorceries, which open attractions, which are artifacts, which is the most important part of this deck. It doesn't really... It has some of the attraction carrying cards, but not a ton. So we're just trying to make a ton of artifacts by casting instant sorceries. Very, very simple concept. The main issue with this deck, as noted by Terrible Norwegian Gaming, is that it is much too reliant on the commander.
Well, let's talk about the commander then. For those of us who don't play Unfinity cards...
I just told you what it did.
Well, you didn't, right? You said it opens attractions, but like specifically, what does it do?
Fair. Okay, so it's... Whenever you cast instant sorcery, it opens an attraction. Attraction is an artifact to being able to roll a dice to get an effect. Those effects can be anything. Norwegian Gaming is specifically playing every single attraction, so we cannot know what those attractions do unless you want to read 30 or 40 attractions right now, which we do not. And then it does have you can exile instant sorcery with mana value X from your graveyard and choose an attraction you control that doesn't have a midway counter on it. Put a midway counter on it, and whenever you visit that attraction, you copy the exile card. That's not super important to what we're doing.
Okay.
We just want to cast a ton of instants and sorceries, get attractions, which are artifacts, and that's all that really matters here.
Okay, so we're doing artifact synergies in the hardest way possible.
Yes, this is a cast instant sorceries to get synergies. Actually, that's the main issue here. Norwegian Gamer mentioned it's the deck doesn't function without the commander, and that's because of cards like this, Filigree Attendant. The deck doesn't have a ton of other ways to make artifacts. So when you're reliant on making these big guys to kill and do your damage, you fall into the spot of like, well, what else am I going to do if I don't have my commander because I can't make artifacts other ways? Which is a hard thing to solve because the deck needs to be based on instants and sorceries. So you can't be casting artifacts. So you're put in this really awkward position with this deck.
And it's so rough too because your commander costs 4. Like that's an expensive commander to depend on.
Yeah. So the first thing I did is I found there's 3 cards that are missing from this deck that are really, really important to what you're trying to do. So we don't have our commander. We want to see what can we do with our commander. What can we do that's similar to our commander? And the first card is, you can type it in, Metallurgic Summoning.
Metallurgic Sum 41.
Yeah, Metallurgic Summoning it's an enchantment, so it's way down here. Oh, why they're sorted like this? Wait, is this the right sorting? Yeah, it is the right sorting. I just don't know what I'm doing. Metallurgic Summoning, cast instant sorcery, get an artifact. They're creatures equal to the mana cost, which makes it way better and way stronger. This is a win condition on top of being a win condition. But this is another one. There's also Stormkiln Artist, which whenever you cast instant sorcery, you get a treasure. Another one. And the last one is the weirdest one. So let's remove this one. And let's put in... It is... I don't even know this card. I just found it. Forensic Gadgeteer. This one's weird.
That sounds familiar to me.
I've heard of it, but I had never put it in a deck. Where are you? Forensic.
There he is.
Gadgeteer. There we are. So, this is a weird card, but whenever you cast an artifact, you investigate. So, that's not the one. I thought it was instant sorcery, but this is a nice, like, if you want to put a couple more artifacts in the deck, which I mentioned somewhere in my notes here. You want to up the when you're not playing instant sorceries, you want to play artifacts. So you get a clue when you do it, and the activated abilities of your clues, so you can crack them easier. Also costs less. Also, you just need things that make artifacts when you do things, and that's the whole idea of the deck. The best ones are the Metallurgic Summoning that I mentioned, and the Stormkiln Artist, because you get actual artifacts from instant sorceries. There's just not a ton of cards that do that. So,
are there other ways maybe to lean into the attraction side of things?
the attractions, there's just not a ton of synergies with attractions. There were a few things in here that I wasn't. There was cards that cared about dice rolling, I believe, if I remember correctly, like this. So attractions roll dice on your upkeep. So you have things like this here that work. But like I like these cards. Your Gear Poor Ether Grids, which just turn your attractions into weapons.
Yeah, I don't know. That feels like we're gonna have to invest so much mana to ever get to do a single point of damage with this card.
With this card?
Yeah, I mean, you need to like put either your 4-mana commander or your 5-mana enchantment into play.
Yeah.
Spend some mana to create an artifact. Do it again, and then you get to activate your Gear Per Ether Grid to do 1 point of damage. I don't know, that makes me think we need to like change our approach pretty drastically here, which is why I was asking maybe if you can lean into more artifact synergy or attraction synergies, and then get those artifacts into play for free that way. But maybe that doesn't exist.
I mean, attractions do a wider range of things, but with the way this deck is built, you can't rely on what your attractions do. You already have to have a 10 attraction deck, which is the minimum. So you're already going to have this huge variety of things that they're doing, and this deck plays the full stack of, I don't know how many there are, 30 or 40.
Sure. So
this is not a ton of synergy to work with. But I do think this deck needs to just kind of up the artifact count where you can. It obviously you need a ton of instant sorceries. That makes sense. Your commander cares about them. But when we fall back to like some creatures here, like this is the kind of card that's just like you just have to cut this because it's not an artifact, it's not instant sorcery. It doesn't care about artifacts or instant sorcery, so you just can't. You in this deck that's already jam-packed and filled to the brim with stuff that's for your deck, you just need to cut these kind of cards. I'm also not a fan of. We talked about the Filigree, the Broodstar. Specifically, this one's not even an artifact.
Yeah,
and even more so for these kind of cards, you just can't. It's not triggering anything. It's not doing anything. So we just need more cards like that. Let's see what. Oh yes, win condition. So we're an instant sorcery deck. We're to engage with. You mentioned the deck can't win. It's tough to win. Specifically, cards that are perfect for this Gutter Snipe. Whenever you cast this instant sorcery, deal 2 damage. Simple. There's a bunch of those versions of that card. That's the best one. Just turn your instant sorceries into direct damage rather than going through the artifact path, is what you're going to do sometimes. Shark Typhoon, which is metallurgic summoning but makes flying sharks. Also, who doesn't love shark? Also, winning with a Shark Typhoon has to be one of the most fun things ever.
Yeah. Yes, I think a lot of that makes sense. But the problem I have with that is that you're turning it into like normal Izzet soup commander deck.
Well, I think it's more of it's like adding 4 or 5 cards there on that side, because it's a way to close out games that the deck I think needs, because I think if you don't go.
Yeah, but remember, like, we're not talking about good Norwegian gaming here.
Oh,
right? We're talking about terrible Norwegian gaming here. And the point of this deck, I think, is to do something really dumb in the form of attractions, something that's unique that you don't really see very often, and try to make that work.
But it is specifically the mention in the deck thing was specifically that we need to be doing attractions, but the attractions are basically just artifacts. That was mentioned.
Yeah.
So they are, and these are just ways to like, hey, we need a chance to win the game. We need something to do, and this is the way to go.
Yeah.
Now I know we do like attractions, but I am totally. I just don't think this card does nearly enough for what we're doing. Like, I know you get to roll an extra dice, you get the higher one. It just doesn't provide enough of an advantage for me to be like, yeah, we should definitely play that. I also don't think our attractions being untapped doesn't do anything. So this is mostly useless in this deck.
Yeah.
It's really, really cute with like a Gear Poor Ether Grid. Really, really cute. but it's overall not going to be a card that's going to do anything in our deck. Having our attractions aren't going to tap very often, and when they do, it's great. But also, I love Unlicensed. Just random note that I just wanted to say I love this card.
Solid card.
It is a solid card. What other ads did I have here? If you really want, let's see. Oh, so Exalted Flame type. Yeah, what that weird. First thing, I don't think they should name a card Exalted Flamer for obvious
the internet. Yeah.
For obvious reasons. We shouldn't name a card Exalted Flamer, but we have named a card Exalted Flamer. And this returns instant sorcery at your upkeep at random, and it deals 1 damage. This is going to double as a win con, but also getting you more instant sorceries to trigger your commander. It's perfect. It's exactly what this deck wants to be doing. It gives you ways to deal damage and ways to get back your instant sorceries. This is another card I really didn't know existed. And you get to say, if you kill someone with an Exalted Flamer, you will be happy. What was the other card? We had another card here. Oh yeah, you get out of here. What other cool ads did we hit? Oh, another one. Prismari. Galazeth Prismari. Oh, oops. That was my fault. My fault.
Yeah, this is like the OG classic, must be in your deck card if you're making a bunch of artifacts, right?
Yeah, exactly. It enters the battlefield, makes a treasure, and artifacts you control have tap to make 1 mana. I mean, this makes your attraction super, super useful. And also, the small when you start like casting these small spells, they're just free, literally free. You play a Searing Vision, open up an attraction, tap the attraction for mana, and just play another one. Play a Cloak of Feathers, classic.
For instance,
play a Cloak of Feathers.
Well, it's a sorcery, but yeah.
Well, we're yeah. It's the worst.
Yep.
What did I say?
No, I said for instance. And then
okay, yeah. And this deck it does know what it wants to do well. One of the things this deck did well before it came in at all is it just has 1 mana, 1 mana, 1 mana, 2 mana, 2 mana, 1 mana. All these spells, they don't cost anything, which is exactly what we need when our commander just says cast instant sorcery. It doesn't care about the mana cost. I guess it does kind of when you want to do the exile part, but that's not the part we care about.
Sure.
Also, Saheeli is I'm glad you had Saheeli in here. This is like the ultimate, like, I don't have my commander. Okay, I have Saheeli to make 1/1s, just like the Metallurgic Summonings and the other things. Do I have any other cool ads here? Okay. I didn't start my. I just want to look at my notes here. I didn't start my vegetable section till the next one.
Your what?
Vegetables. Every single deck needs to eat its veggies. And by eating, not literally veggie wagon, but eating your vegetables is your ramp, removal, and your card draw. Every single deck needs those. This deck is missing a little bit of removal. Simple ads, Chaos Warp, boring, but Resculpt, boring, Arcane, boring. And this is why I don't like talking about veggies is kind of boring, but you do need a little bit more removal in this deck, and you need 1 or 2 more pieces of ramp, which, a Mind Stone. No, you have Mind Stone. Just another, there's a million 2 mana ramps that you can just throw in this deck. You can throw in a Chromatic Lantern. That's terrible, but you could throw it in.
Yeah, I mean, probably not Chromatic Lantern specifically.
I don't know why that one popped in my head. Yeah. Which, it's a card I'm actively not known to suggest.
Oh, there's, what's it called? That, Treasure Hoard or something like that? It's the tap to loot and make a treasure.
Oh, yes, that is...
I forget. It was in standard decks recently.
Type in treasure. Let's see if it comes up. Type it in.
Yeah.
How many treasure cards do you think there are? A lot. Let's see. Treasure Mage, Treasure Naver. No, I don't see.
It's not Treasure Chest, is it?
No, it's not. Treasure Chest is D&D. Yeah. What is that card called? Where's this? This is why we need Veggie. This is what Veggie. Oh, we're peeking a bit.
Are we peeking a bit?
We are. I'm definitely peeking.
Oh, because of Joe. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I am a very loud person. Okay, much better.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna keep going, and I'll look up this card.
Yeah. A couple more cuts. I'm not a fan of Clown Car. It's cute. And it does make X little. You do get to roll a dice, and make a bunch of clowns. I'm not a huge fan of Clown Car overall. I just don't think it's a very good card. What else do I have in my cuts here? This deck. Yeah. I would also. There was some weird. Let me take a look. See now, overall, I think you have the right idea here. I really like. I'm not a huge fan of like Broodstar as a card, but I do like Cyber Drive Awakener, where we're going to turn our attractions into 4/4 creatures to attack. I think that's a much stronger way to go.
Collector's Vault.
Collector's Vault. Yeah, let's type that in and show off Collector's Vault.
Oh, can't type. That should be good enough.
I think you just like, I give up at the last two letters. The very last two letters. Oh yeah, Collector's Vault. Pay 2, draw a card, discard a card, make a treasure. You get an artifact out of this, you loot, and you find your good stuff. Plus, you're putting in the graveyard where your commander can do her thing.
It is an artifact.
And it is an artifact itself. This deck could use a couple more artifacts here or there. I like that you have Trail of Evidence in here. These are the best cards in this deck. Yeah. These replace your commander because sometimes your commander just won't do the thing. I really, when I was looking at this deck, I like the way you went with it mostly. Wait, your land count's too low. Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes, 38. Aim for 38. And then look at your curve afterward and say, can I go maybe to 37, maybe up to 39? Just aim for 38. Yeah, you don't want a 30 land deck. Granted, we are a pretty low curve if I remember. Yeah, we have like, because you were smart with your instants and sorceries that you did include in this deck. So that's good. You could also include type in Reckless. It should come up from that. I can't remember. I think maybe it's Endeavor. Reckless Endeavor. Apparently, Reckless. Where are you? Reckless Endeavor. You're a sorcery, right? So this is a 7-mana instant, but you roll 2 d12s at the board wipe. You can get creatures off the board based on whichever the d12 you choose, and the other one is treasures, which is
so your deck with its low land count, all of its mana problems will be solved by this 7-mana sorcerer.
I wasn't saying the mana problems will be solved.
Yeah.
I didn't segue away from the mana problems. The mana thing is we kind of said that, right? That you just need at least 3 more lands in this deck. That's what I would do. But Reckless Endeavor is another just great add to the deck, like to what it's doing. But
I was thinking like Brass's Bounty as well, just anything that makes a bunch of treasures.
That was the first card that came to my head, but then I'm like, I like this card more because it rolls 2 dice.
Yeah,
which is way more fun than just I get treasure tokens. Ooh, I'm fancy.
That's cute. I like it.
Yeah, Veggiewagon's not here because Veggiewagon is a butt.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the only reason he's not here. Good day, Matt K. I'm trying to read the chat. I'm not used to streaming as much. I'm not a big stream, so I'm not a chat looker. But I think that's all I got for this deck. Do you have any notes you want to add?
I don't know. I guess my final thought would be that it needs to like pick a lane a little better, because it's got the cantrippy package and it's got the artifact package and it wants to roll dice and it tries to do all of these different things but doesn't really do any of them all that well.
Yeah,
I would like lean either into like spell slinger damage dealing or treasure generation or dice rolling, or maybe like 2 of them but not all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I like leaning into the spell slinger side. That's where she is, and then you make your win cons the artifacts, which is what you want or the deck. Yeah, I think I like this deck a lot. I think it's a very cool deck, and as long as you just need to these are the cards. Also cut this. This card's horrible. I forgot. I almost forgot to say this. This was the first card I saw, and this was the first card that made me go, what? I hate this, but it's in here because it flips into another version of the filigree. But this card
that's pretty bad.
This is awful. Yeah, this is the ultimate get it out of here. Lean a little bit more towards spell slinging, and if you're really having the trouble where you're not drawing your Myra. What was I calling her? I was calling her something else. I realize now that I've not been calling her Myra all this time. But Myra, if you want, you could add like some ways to find your other stuff. If you up your card draw, you can cycle through to make sure you find your they're past Iconoclast, your Saheeli's, and your things. It's just more card draw is going to get you there quicker, and that's probably the best way to go if you need a Myra and you can't play Myra because they're just removing it.
Yeah.
But this deck is sweet.
Also no Brainstorm, right?
Is
there Brainstorm?
To be fair,
There is Brainstorm. Okay.
there is a Brainstorm in here, but also I'm not a fan of Brainstorm when you're going to Brainstorm lock yourself most of the time. It's not bad.
This bothers me. There's no such thing as Brainstorm locking yourself. It doesn't exist.
Well, Brainstorm lock just means that you can't change what you're going to draw.
Right, but you can, even if you've never cast Brainstorm, you can't change what you're going to draw. Right? Like, the difference is the cards. That's the only difference.
I guess the thing is, Brainstorm, I think without a shuffle, Brainstorm's a very mid card.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. But people, when they say you're Brainstorm locked, as though it's somehow Brainstorm's fault, that bugs me. I'm like, no, you just didn't have the cards in the top 3.
Okay, yeah. So Brainstorm lock isn't meant to insult Brainstorm.
I will not tolerate this Brainstorm slander.
Okay, you and but yes, I'm actually I would personally probably end up cutting Brainstorm from this deck, but I understand why it's here. And I would just add more. I might even add just a couple more shuffle effects to make sure Brainstorm's better, because when Brainstorm shuffles, Brainstorm's busted. That's a busted card.
All right. You heard it here first.
Brainstorm, good. Yeah, that I know. Hot take. All right, moving on to our.
All right. Yeah, we have our next deck is Flinistein's Zoyowa Sacrifice deck.
Yes. So Zoyowa, the Lava Tongue, which is quite the nickname, is a 2/2 death touch. At the beginning of your end stop, if you've descended this turn, each opponent may discard or sacrifice a permanent. If they don't, this deals 3 damage to anyone who did not. Now, the weakest part of this card is it just gives your opponents a lot of choices. Ultimately, they get to choose which one of these 3 they want. They're going to choose the one that's not the worst for them. But the strong part of it is this is 2 mana. It gets out early, and it's going to be triggering every single turn in this deck.
The part that's sticking out about this card for me is the hyphenate last name. Like, do you think that its parents were last name Lava and Tongue, and they just happened to be super progressive goblins, and they didn't want to take the man's last name?
Which one do you... So now we have to guess. Which one was the man's last name? Lava or Tongue?
Oh, I think I could get in trouble answering that question. No, I think I'm just going to assume that Zoyowa is the product of a very progressive relationship, and I think that's great. I think we need more of that in Magic.
I'm going to assume the parents were two very attractive people that just happen to have this very ugly baby.
That's really unlucky. Yeah,
it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
They were very attractive. This lava-tongued baby is not. So in a deck like this, where we have there's a large sacrifice theme with like your accursed marauders. You know, you're sacking here, you're sacking here. There's sacrifice is everywhere in this deck. Our creature count should be up. When you're a sacrifice deck, you're a creature sacrifice deck. You need creatures. 27 is too low in my opinion, especially because some of them aren't even creatures. This isn't a creature. This is a put it in my graveyard and it goes there. Never. If you're casting anger, you're losing. This is the perfect kind of card in this deck.
Banned in Legacy, Troll of Khazad-dûm.
Which is one of the funniest banned in Legacy. Yep. But also, if we have Troll of Khazad-dûm in the deck, we should have Oliphant. It's the same thing in the context of this deck. It's a creature that we can cycle to put in our graveyard. It will trigger our descend. You just want both. There's no reason not to have both in your deck. But we're going to want to go way up on creature count. Because this deck has way too many instants and sorceries. Like these things like Big Score are great. You love them for this deck, but specifically, like I hate corrupted conviction. I am not a big fan of this card. It's fine. Like, what do you think of this card?
I think it can be fine in the right deck. I mean, here it has a lot of synergy, right? It turns on your descend. Yeah. It also is like pseudo protection for your big threats, because if someone targets it with a removal spell, you sack it, and at least you're up on cards in the exchange.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a useless card, and I think it's above replacement level. But I agree with you that it doesn't actually like make much progress.
We just want to be what I want to play instead of things like this is I just want to play. I mean, let's just pull a Viscera Seer. I mean, people know Viscera Seer, but you just want this playing things like Viscerous here it's simple. This ups your creature count instead of playing something like Corrupted Conscious, and it's the sack outlet. So when you can put the sack outlet onto a creature, this deck should be pushing toward focusing on creatures because that's the best way to go with. If you're gonna play all these sacrifice, these braids, these accursed marauders, all these things, all this fun sacrifice stuff, then you do want to play this. Why is this in such a weird order?
I blame Nerd Girl.
Hold on. Oh, they're sorted by name. No, mana value. See how much prettier that is? I was wondering why Viscerous Seer is all the way down here. Because Viscerous Seer should be up here because it's 1 mana where it belongs.
Yeah.
But this deck is solid. So let's talk about the boring stuff for a second because you got to talk about it every single game. We do hate him. Yeah, that's true. That was you who said that.
Yeah. Well, it was me from the other room, but yeah.
Mystery you. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about your fruits and veggies. This is your vegetables. Ramp. This deck only has 5 or 6 ramp spells, which is this is not enough. This is 4. This is 4 right here. So you need at least 4 more ramp spells, more artifacts that do the same thing. I wish I didn't bring my list of artifacts that do this. And for some reason my brain is not working for pulling them up, but more ramp. Yeah. Just literally simple as more ramp. I do have some here. Solemn Simulacrum, for example. Why you play that in the deck like this? It's very mid, but it's a creature. And not a lot of creatures ramp in red-black. So you get to sacrifice it to draw a card, which does all the things you want, and then it's something to sacrifice to your Viscerous Seers. Just like, I love these guys. These guys are perfect. These are perfect little keeps in your deck. I was so glad to see these. Like, get something when you sacrifice it. But yeah, you need more ramp. Let's see, what was your... Oh, remove. You need some more removal. Put it on your creatures. We can put everything on our creatures. Noxious Gear Hulk, Necron Deathmark, and Chupacabra. There's a hammy making a lot of noise over here. Oh my god. Is the mic picking that up? I assume it is.
I hope so.
You good, Hammy?
Hammy is upset because Guinevere is taking his spot. So, we'll compromise. This is binding arbitration.
This is really big stuff. Hammy and Guinevere are having trouble.
All right.
Oh, Guinevere! Look, she's on camera.
So you get your spot, and Guinevere gets handled.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, we're back. Yep. Put it on your creatures. Your removal. Like I said, the Chupacabra, Noxious Gear Hulk, Necron Deathmark. They all say basically the same thing. Creature enters the battlefield, destroy another creature. I'm a huge fan of these cards. Like they read kind of bad, where it's just like 4 mana to destroy a creature feels bad. But when you get a creature that you can sacrifice to then trigger this, you're perfect. That's exactly what you want to be doing with the progressive baby of Lava Tongue.
Yeah.
Shriek Maw is the other one. Shriek Maw is the other enters, destroy a creature card.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the other hyphenate last name.
No, I don't think that Shriek Maw is a legendary creature, but it could be. Could also, that would be very progressive. Midnight Reaper, Grim Horseback. So as you up this creature count, sacrificing creatures, having them die, and drawing cards is exactly what we want. And like these are the cards I like over what we're talking about, Corrupted Conviction. Like, when you just have your Midnight Reapers and your Grim Horsebacks, you're moving everything. You're slowly moving this deck to be like 40 creatures and gaining more synergy because you have a ton of creatures, which will die, go to your graveyard. Works perfectly. Let's see. So that's vegetables. I know it's not that exciting. What was your land count? You need more lands, at least 3, if not 4 more lands. Out of mountains and swamps, or depending on what you have. If your budget calls for it, get some.
Well, I mean, the fetches in this deck in particular are really important, right? Like, you have Bloodstained Mire, but you could even put the off-color fetches in here.
Oh, you know what? I depending on budget here, so we have a $400 deck here. Depending on what your budget is, I might just play your Evolving Wilds, your Terramorphic Expanses, these 5-cent cards that just trigger your commander for nothing. It's worth having a tap land or two to put it into your graveyard. There's also, there's off-color fetches, like you said. And there's also if you want, going to budget, I don't know the names of them. There's the tapped fetches that are extra slow.
The tapped fetch? You mean the Capenna ones?
No, yes, you can play the Capenna ones, the ones that work with your colors. But they're literally fetch lands where they come in tapped. There's half a cycle of them from way back, I think Mirage-ish era.
The only one I'm thinking of is Myriad Landscape, but
no, yeah. it is literally a bloodstained mire or whatever colors. I know Flooded Plain, I think, is one of them, which we can't add a Flooded Plain to this deck because it's blue-red. Actually, just type in Flooded Plain.
Okay. No.
Floodplain? Maybe it's Floodplain. But yeah, see, it's literally fetch land, but they enter tapped. And there's a cycle of these, so if you get the ones in your colors, they do your thing. And they also let you fix colors, because you do have your Blood Crypt to fetch. So I guess we don't have that many. We have what is that word? What is raucous? That's such a weird word.
When you were like, what is that word? I was like, what could you possibly mean? It didn't occur to me that you meant the word on the screen that you were looking at.
Well, so it's one of those words that doesn't look like what it sounds like in my head. Like, I don't know how you would spell raucous. Obviously, that's how. But
yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think you do know.
In my head, I had never spelled raucous. So when every time I see this card, it's still red. Oh, hi.
Right. I think she's done with us.
She's so cute, though.
All right. Go torment Hammy.
All right. While we're distracted, hand me that. Why is this here? I don't know what this is doing here.
That's actually a prop for other content that we do that we haven't released yet. So
you're really making this sound not good. I did not expect you to put it in your mouth as much as you did.
All right. Now, hopefully you guys are actually watching the stream, because if you just heard Joe say that...
Who's Nerd Guys? Who's the pupper? That was Guinevere. That is Nerd Mom's dog, and she is adorable and tiny and makes the cutest little noise. What did you hear? What'd you guys hear?
Hi, Veggie. This is what happens when you're not here.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about any decks yet. You missed it. We've literally just been talking about. Apparently, I still can't believe that you put that stuffed animal in your mouth.
Yeah, honestly, me neither. I have regrets.
Like, I assume when I went like this, you would just be like, "No, what are you doing?"
You're supposed to, that's improv, right? You're supposed to say yes and.
Yeah. What is the and?
I don't know. That's your job. I took my turn.
Oh my god.
Where are we at?
Yeah, you want more creature sack outlets, as we mentioned already. We said Viscera Seer. Carrion Feeder is the other 1 mana sack outlet. It's a zombie. It gets counters. Can't block though. Beware. It does have that line of text. War and Soul Trader. Let's type that one in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the card's incredible. I mean, it's $14. It's a little bit pricey, so you might not have the money, but the ones I suggested before, pennies. So those ones are much cheaper, but this card's amazing. I mean, there's not really, Viscera Seer is the best sack outlet for creatures. Hammy, you have to stop licking my feet. Hammy's just licking my feet right now. Like, not even a little bit. Like, he was going ham.
See, you're supposed to go yes and.
Right. This is not, Hammy's not on camera. He's not making content.
Not a camera that you know about.
I hope there's not a camera down there. Jeez, we're getting so distracted. Mm-hmm. War and Soul Trader is, like I said, Viscera Seer is the best because it's a 1 mana sack outlet. For what it actually does, War and Soul Trader is the actual best, like, power-wise sack outlet. This thing's absurd. Like, how do you beat, like, I guess there's also Phyrexian Altar, but I'm talking keeping on the creature track and also not spending $50, because I think that card is literally $50.
Veggie's a big fan of you turning all Rakdos Sacrifice decks into the same pile of 100 cards.
It called like the same card. You know, what are you supposed to? Okay, when I am given a Rakdos Sacrifice deck, what Veggie, here, you're watching. Give me some of your hot recommendations, okay? Give me some hot recommendations from Veggiewagon. Veggie's gonna make. He's guilty. He's like, Joe's not allowed to do deck text anymore because he only suggests the same cards. This is a Rakdos Sacrifice deck. I'm not saying Greater Gargadon. Okay, well, first thing, people love that card and play that card all the time. That's not a unique thing. You're fired.
Yeah, we'll invest in Chat Joe PT, which just takes a deck as an input and then just outputs the exact same 100 cards in that color combination.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I suggested Terramorphic Expanse. Boom.
Yeah, no one plays that one. That's got him. All right. Anything else about this one?
Are you saying Mahadi because it's in the deck, or are you suggesting it, Nature Boy? Because Mahadi's here. He's just hanging out. He's already here. But this deck is doing its thing. Braids is like the perfect like little card for this deck because it's the thing you have to remember about Braids though. What's really funny about this card is it cannot trigger our Zoyowa. I think it's a good card. I think it belongs in this deck, but it triggers on end stop, which is the same time that Zoyowa triggers, which means we won't have ascended if this is the only way we're doing it. But I still like this card a lot.
Are there any Rakdos colored cards that force villainous choices? Because I like the end step pain theme here. Now that you've mentioned Braids, just having a bunch of stuff that happens on your own end step that adds up to be really painful for them.
Let's pull up Boom. Go to Scryfall and do some We're totally not doing anything on the other screen. Villainous choices. I forgot about villainous choices.
Yeah, I need advanced search.
Go ahead. I don't know why I'm sitting here controlling the mouse while Airball needs to type. I'm totally making things good.
Oh, not commander. Oh no, I do want that commander. Cool. Search. Nothing.
There's no villainous choices?
Not in... Unless I've misspelled villainous? I don't think I did.
I don't know. I don't know how to spell villainous.
What happens if I just remove the color restriction?
Okay, you misspelled villainous choice somewhere.
I must have.
Airball can't spell.
I guess.
How does one get their deck rated? That is a Patron exclusive perk, so you can head over to patreon.com and sign up for the tier that does it.
That's right. Okay, so that was
so
misspelled.
So you just can't spell. Okay.
That's right.
Airball officially cannot spell, even though I can't spell.
Totally illiterate.
I mean, I couldn't read raucous. It was in front of my face.
That's true. Gallifrey's End. When a non-token artifact creature you control dies, you can exile it. If you do, choose an opponent with the most life. They face a villainous choice. That's kind of cool.
Which ones?
The Master Gallifrey's End. You can just...
Here, put it here,
yeah.
So I can see it better over here, and they can see it better over here actually. The Master Gallifrey's End. Never a non-token artifact creature. Wow, we don't have a ton of those.
Yeah,
that's very specific.
I misread it as non-artifact creature.
Yeah, non-artifact creature. Yeah, villainous choices. I don't. There's just not a lot of them. Maybe Veggie's just another card that I can make fun of him for.
Okay.
Nope, he's got nothing. He's just he doesn't know anything. See, Veggie knows everything because I suggest the cards that are normal. Which Veggie's gonna hate the ads I put down because I just put this is a Rakdos Sacrifice deck. I put good cards. I just think the deck because I feel like this deck. It leans in its direction and has unique stuff. I think it just needs things that are good and are going to make the deck win because I think you want your Zulaport Cutthroats in this deck, just ways to drain out your opponents as a way to turn this. This deck is the problem with Zoyowa, or is that how would you say this?
Zoyowa.
Zoyowa. It's a tough thing. It's a tough one to say. But the problem with Zoyowa is. It's never actually dealing damage when you need it to, right? If you're trying to kill players, they're sacrificing and discarding. And that will be strong, and that is card advantage for you, but that's the trouble, which is why when you add things like Mayhem Devil, which are already in this deck, are perfect, because now you take the... you now you now you can deal damage, and they don't get a choice. Super Cutthroats, any drain effect, your Blood Artist as well, are just what this deck needs to finish off a game. I like type in Bitter Triumph. I love Bitter Triumph. I know you know this one, so it's standard All-Star.
Yeah.
Bitter Triumph, because this deck needed a little bit of removal. It's not in the instance. Boop, boop, boop. Let you sacrifice creature or pay 3 life. What I really like about this card is when you don't have the creature to sacrifice or discarding or not. When you don't have a card you want to discard, you can just pay the 3 life. So you can I love that this card lets you descend very, very easily when you need it to let you descend. But also, it's just 2 mana removal. Get rid of anything. Great answer for your deck.
Yeah. Okay, so end of the day, I think instant sorcery count much too high for a deck built around descend as a mechanic.
Yes.
Land count too low, and could add some fetches and other easy sack outlets.
Yep. Just you like these things can trigger descent here, but also I don't think that these cards fit the deck too well because the treasure theme doesn't fit our deck a ton. Like the only sacrifice cards that care about treasures are things like specifically Mayhem Devil, which there's not a lot of that in this deck. There's also just not a lot of that overall that care about whatever is sacrificed. So because of that, I just don't think Big Score is necessarily that good, or Demand Answers is that good. These cards are just okay. Like, play Faithless Looting if you're going to play one of these, because it's the best one. It's the very top of the line. Like, okay, that's amazing. Yeah, so get your creature count up. Get your permanent count up, just because we need to be triggering Descent. Like, that's, like, Descent cares about permanents, and when we have... what is this? The 31 total instant sorceries. We're just not going to trigger Descend enough. It's going to cause that big issue. Also, for cuts, let's see what I put for cuts. Torment of Hailfire. I get it. It does what our commander does, right? It's the same kind of thing. We're not big mana. Granted, if you add something like the recommended War and Soul Trade, you can go a lot bigger mana. But I don't like Torment of Hailfire unless you can really go big mana. I think it's actually slightly overrated in Commander. It's good. But when you can make a lot of mana, it's good. Hey, Veggie. I know he's not there anymore, probably, but I'm going to keep yelling at him. I cut Torment of Hailfire. Does that make up for my ads? He's totally not there.
100%.
But yeah, your deck is on the right track and it has the right idea. Also, I love this super card. Whenever opponent is dealt three or more damage by a single source, they discard a card. So know what this card says? This card says with Zoyowa, you never choose
Discard, right? Yeah.
Well, you choose discard because you don't want to. If you take 3, then you discard.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just it's a silly little interaction, and it's honestly probably cuttable in a real world, but
it's fun
in a fun, flavorful world. We get rid of it. Also, this deck. There's one route that I wanted to mention. There's a few reanimation spells in here. What were they? They're not the instant, they're sorceries, right? Like this, where you can return stuff from your graveyard to the battlefield. This right here, this right here, this right here. You got like 4 of them. We don't have good discard. If we want to do that, we need really good reanimation targets. These cards are fine. Like, they're fine to reanimate. Macias is actually really good. That one's actually great. But if you add big things like Villas, like over the top, big giant threats, like there's not a specific card you need to put here.
I mean, I was thinking like Archon of Cruelty. It fits the deck theme really well.
That does. I love Archon of Cruelty is actually, when it comes to power level of commander, that I aim for, Archon of Cruelty encapsulates it perfectly. Because that card is not broken, it's not busted, it is just strong, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, by fun I mean not for the opponent getting chosen because they hate it.
Yeah.
But it's fun for you, and ultimately, if you're having fun, who cares if everyone else is?
That's all that matters.
That's all that's ever mattered in Commander. Yeah, this is a pretty basic Rakdos sacrifice deck, but I really like this deck. What else did I add here? There's something else hiding in this deck that I added. I blame you.
Was it the land, like the floodplain thing?
No, I cut that. I blame you. This is your fault.
All right. I mean, there's a log at the bottom of what you added, so you can just look at that. But
There's also
yeah. Oh, the Soul Trader, right?
oh, it's this. It's the Bitter Triumph.
Ah, yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, you got your Rakdos Sacrifice. We have Progressive Baby, Zoyowa, Lava Tongue.
Yeah.
Ugly Progressive Baby.
Yep.
Which you can't say about real babies, but you can say about ugly Magic card babies. So
I mean, you can say it about real babies.
You
You just got to be prepared for the consequences.
there is big consequences to calling a baby ugly.
I feel like if you call Mr. Lava and Mrs. Tongue's baby ugly, then you're probably in for a lot of consequences.
I don't think they would care because I think that they would take it as a compliment because
Maybe.
their baby is so ugly that it's its only feature that it has positively.
Yes. My baby may be ugly, but it is an agent of social change.
It is the ugliest.
All right, what's next?
Next we have okay. This was one of my favorite decks that came in because this deck is based around one specific janky card.
Kenrith.
It is Last Stand. No, this deck doesn't even care about its commander. Its commander is actually Last Stand. Why don't you read Last Stand for me?
Well, first, I'll point out that this was submitted by Half an Apple, and it is a Kenrith deck based on the card Last Stand. Last Stand is a Wooburg sorcery. Target opponent loses 2 life. For each swamp that you control, it deals damage equal to the number of mountains you control to target creature. Put a 1/1 green Saproling creature token into play for each forest you control. You gain 2 life for each plains you control, and you draw a card for each island you control. Then discard that many cards from your hand.
Yes. So realistically, like I was going to mention, Kenrith's not the commander. He is here for colors. That is what Kenrith is here for. Nothing else. Because we are...
Personal rule of mine, by the way, if you're going to do that, that's fine, but you can't cast Kenrith. That is, like, if I'm using a commander that's just for colors, you don't get the benefit of that card. I feel like that's, like, a good restriction.
That's fair. Because if this deck was built... Oh, God. How many years ago was... I know you're not going to know.
Throne of Eldraine?
No, was Golos banned? How many years ago was that? It's
Golos
probably
was,
been
what, M20? So...
3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
Since it was banned. This would be a Golos deck. So yeah, this is just for colors. Because this deck is a way better Golos deck if he was unbanned. So, with this deck here, first thing, we got to talk about our vegetables. Before I get into anything about the deck, you do not have enough card draw. You only have 5 card draw spells in this whole deck. And you need to find your Last Stand. So you definitely need a lot of card draw. Whether it is to find, your tutor like Bring to Light, which does get Last Stand, you still need to have some card draw. I really like Escape to the Wild. It lets you play an extra land. You exile the top 5. Playing extra land is huge in this deck. The more lands we get into play, Last Stand is going to be perfect. Horn of Greed. Whenever you play a land, or any player plays land, they draw a card. You want to play lands. This deck absolutely wants to put as many lands as it can into play, which is what we are doing. This deck does not have enough removal. Just basic. It just needs basic removal. This deck doesn't have like a theme that I can base the removal on. So you just need your Beast Within and your Generous Gifts. Simple. Swords to Plowshares. This deck just needs removal because it only has 6 total in the deck. 10 is what you aim for.
So the point, I guess, is to make a bunch of, like, have a huge mana base with a huge domain.
I was about to get to that.
Oh, okay.
If you just wait. First thing, this deck is you want 50 lands in play, or however, 45 lands in play, because that is the grand total that we can have in play. And you want to have your Leyline of the Guild pack, which makes all of your lands into everything. And we have every version of this, I believe. I looked. Prismatic Omen does the same thing, and there's one other card. The Dryad. He's up here.
The Elysian Grove. Yeah, top right.
Yes, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. We have all these perfect. These are the other cards outside of. Okay, I can't. Things need to be sorted in Mana Bay. I'm going crazy. NerdGirl will fix it later and yell at me.
Oh yeah.
Because I can't look at it like that. But that's why I couldn't find any cards, because I'm like, oh, it's in 3s. Oh no, wait, it's just up in the corner here hanging out. This deck is the domain deck. This deck is good. I want to tell you that. Looking at this deck when you sent it in, immediately looking at it, you built a good deck here. You have a good theme. It's really cool, and you're doing it right. For some cuts, so we want lands in play. We want lots of lands in play. We don't want to ramp with Birds of Paradise. It's a good card. Well, Birds is still the best 1-mana ramp spell. I would just cut this for even a Rampant Growth, any version of Rampant Growth that you can put in. You just, that in Bloom Tender, our commander's not even actually 5 colors. And our biggest creature permanent is this. So it can only ever tap for 3 mana at most, which is fine. That's a reasonable amount, but also you have to have this.
Well, that's not true, right? If you have the Leyline and play, it taps for 5.
Oh, that's true. Specifically Leyline. So you need it to combine with other cards to make it tap. It's just not going to tap for much mana in this deck, just how it's built. And also, we just want more land. Land ramp is what we want to be playing in this deck. All the land ramp we can get, because creature ramp is fine, but land ramp is just going to be better. Let's see. Glinthorn. Okay, I was trying to figure this out. Why is Glinthorn Buccaneer here? Whenever you discard a card, it deals damage, but like...
I guess because you're looting away a huge number of cards when you resolve Last Stand.
That is fair, but I just don't think it's very good. I think if a card only functions when you're doing the best thing your deck can do, and your deck is already doing the best thing it can do, you don't really want this. I just think it's too reliant. So that's fair. I also for cuts I said cut the same thing. The deal 1 damage when you discard. Yeah, it does make sense. If you have like 20 lands, you do get the extra stuff, but like this is much better. Actually, this is like the same thing.
I would cut Mirkwood Bats. Like this is one I didn't understand.
Yeah, it's the same thing because you get saplings. But yeah, it's also, yeah, I would also cut. It's not all these kind of cards are just, you have to be doing your exact game plan. You're already doing the best thing your deck can do. You're already in a strong spot because you get to drain a player for 2 times your land. So when you have your 20 lands out, which sometimes you will, you just get to kill a player.
Yeah.
You have 10 lands out, you're just going to get to kill a player. These things just feel like extra and don't need to be there. First ad I have for this deck, Scion of Draco. I mean, it's not that good of a card, but Scion of Draco is so cool. And it fits with the theme of this deck, which is your domain. Where are you, Draco? Boop, 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 boop. Oh, there he is. Scion of Draco. It's reduced by your land types. Your deck is going to have 5. It's going to cost you absolutely nothing to cast, 2 to be exact. And then your creatures just get bonuses. I mean, this card's not great. I'm not pretending like in this deck this is like amazing, but this is theme. When you're looking at what does Last Stand do, you want all the types and all the lands. Scion of Draco is right there.
Why am I blanking on the 7 mana card that cycles for 1 and a green to get a land, or makes a creature for each card in your domain? It was in the standard domain decks. Why am I blanking on that card now?
Something Herd.
Herd Migration.
Herd Migration.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can show them that. Yeah, Herd Migration is another. I was gonna say, is it ever popping up? Herd Migration is another card. Yeah. Discard, go get a land. Easy. Gain 3 life. Not that we care about that. But for your domain, you get 3/3 beasts. This goes along with some little tokeny themes that this card also goes with.
Yeah, and it fills out your domain if you're missing it.
Yes, it does. Yeah, you go get the very last basic land. Yeah, well, how many basics were in this deck? I remember looking at it.
It can't be many.
It's a little more than I expected because of the land count so high. So they were generous, like 2, 2, 1. There's 7. I'm counting 7. Where's the mountains? I can't see. Or is there no mountain? Oh, it's right here. I can find things.
Yeah, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, 7 is a good enough count to play the things. I love things like Explore in this deck because you get to play your land from your hand. Playing extra lands is great. You had Exploration in this deck as well. Great. Burgeoning, both perfect. I mean, in a 45 land count deck, you're just going to have your lands to put in play. So these cards work incredibly well. Type in Sphinx of Clear Skies. Oops.
There's an N in there.
This card's great. It's another very thematic card for your deck. Sphinx of Clear Skies. This guy, for your domain, you get when it deals combat damage to a player, you reveal 5 because we're gonna always have it. I mean, be perfect. Where X number of cards, and an opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. So you just get Factor Fiction every single time this card hits. Perfect. It Factor Fiction in general probably a better card, but thematically not even close. Sphinx is way cooler and fits your deck way better. Also, actually, I was gonna say it's cheaper. It's actually more expensive than Factor Fiction. It's not. For both mana cost and it costs $1.
Factor Fiction's kind of fun in this deck because normally you're playing this game around, are they going to give you a bunch of useless lands? But there are no useless lands in this deck.
You just want every single land drop is good in this deck.
You just want cardboard.
Yeah, very very simple things to add to this deck. This deck wants every so you have your Nature's Lore and 3 visits. When I think of these 2 cards, I think type in Skyshroud Claim. It's pretty much pretty simple. I think if you are putting in Nature's Lore in 3 visits, you should immediately put in Skyshroud Claim as well, because it searches for 2 forests. They enter untapped. So that untapped clause makes this cost in the same way that these cost 1 mana because you get an untapped forest. This costs 2 mana to get 2 lands. Which
do we have enough forests in the deck to support that?
Yes, because we have all the breeding pools, the triomes. Yeah, so
we have a few.
That's 4. There's 4 of the triomes, 4 of the shocklands. That's already 8.
Yeah.
Plus 2 forests. That's 10. Yeah, we have enough. Okay. Definitely have enough. I mean, we will be fetching a decent amount, but just be. I mean, yeah, you're good. This is why you add basics. This deck will run into the potential issue of I might now when I build mana bases, I do like this is done, where it's kind of balanced and just kind of has every, you threw in all the triomes, you threw in all the things. You might need to cut the triomes that don't fit your colors as well and get a few more basics, because things like Kodama's Reach are actually really good in this deck, but they only get basics. So your deck does have potential of running out of basics in specific situation. Also, have you ever heard the song where it goes, "We're taking the hobbits to Isengard. We're taking the hobbits to Isengard."
Yeah.
That's all this card makes me think of when I see it.
So if you want to throw Joe into an infinite loop when you play against him, that's why it costs more than normal to sage you.
This isn't Beseiju. No, this is Isengard.
Of course.
Where we're taking the hobbits. So this deck is super focused on our last stand. We've gone over this already. Put in a few more tutors. You don't need to put in good tutors. You don't need to be demonic tutor, vampiric tutor, super overpowered stuff. But you can put in simple things like solve the equation. Not broken, not busted. Go get an instant sorcery out of your deck. Simple. It's very, very, very fair card, and it lets you go get it. I love you already had your Bring to Light, perfect, and I also Invasion of.
I love this one. Invasion of Arcavios, standard all-star Invasion of Arcavios.
Was it?
It currently is.
Oh,
yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know this.
It's the regional championship in Bologna is going on right now. And this card is in, I think, a deck that represents 9% of the metagame there.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What is the deck?
It is Blue-White Omniscience.
Blue-White Omniscience. Okay, so
you remember I was playing in that tournament in Portland?
Yes.
And I was just running around the day before trying to find copies of this card, and no vendor had it because what the hell? The card was 15 cents. Now it's $1.30 apparently.
That's a good old 1,000% increase.
Yes. Yes, 1,000% increase. Yep.
That's reasonable. Yep. I think that's reasonable. But this just lets you go search for an instant sorcery. These are fair tutors. This deck can also play any. I don't know what power level you're playing at. They can play the really good tutors as well. You just want to make sure in a deck like this that you can execute your game plan. I mean, sadly you don't get to put this in your command zone. And because you don't get to put it in your command zone, you need ways to tutor it up and find it and make sure you're doing it. This like I said, this deck was built solidly. You just need to make sure. I also love this nonsense. You can copy your silly instant sorcery. Woo! Double Last Stand. Also,
Narset's Reversal was what I was thinking is another way to do it.
that is true. Yeah, Narset's Reversal is another way. We'll put that one on screen.
It's in the deck, actually.
Oh, that one's here?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're smarter than me.
Yes.
'Cause I actually didn't think of Narset's Reversal, even though it was in the deck already. This deck is great. Also, thematic. Perfect. This is the kind of thing. Is this card good? No. Is this card belong in the deck? Yes, 100%. Yeah, there's also Reverberate. You could also do type in Wild. No, that's not right. No. What's the other Reverberate? Is it just? There's another. Is it Fork? Or is Fork just changed target?
Is duplicated.
Yes, so Fork. Yeah, Fork is the other one. But this one's more expensive than Reverberate because it's just an old card that is this reserve list? I don't know. Fork might be reserve list.
I mean, given that it's a $35 card, I would think it probably is.
Yes, but Fork is another version of your Reverberates. Yeah, copy your spells, tutor it up, copy it, do it over and over again. Also, return it from your graveyard. I don't think you have like an Eternal Witness. You can add in a Balagator Recovery. Mm-hmm. Just ways to return it from your graveyard to your hand is going to be important. Hopefully it doesn't get exiled because that would suck. Because then your deck is like, oh no. This card's also mediocre in this deck. When your creatures enter, they deal 1. It's the same thing. This kind of like fill in the same role as the Mirkwood Bats and all that, where it's just like, it's fine. But...
Yeah, I would rather take these cards and turn them into ways to cast more copies of the spell than to like make a single copy of the spell pay off a tiny bit more.
Exactly, yeah. Return. So, like we mentioned, card draw, return it, copy it. You've got the spells, you've got the Reverberates, the Forks. I love it. Be careful. Don't, yeah. And if there's the 4-mana Eternal Witness too.
Yep.
Which I would put in this deck. I just make sure that you don't lose. And make sure you have this every game, and then make sure you don't lose it, because if you lose it, the deck is gonna start suffering a lot. But this is also bleh. I hate Farewell. So
your Invasion actually also regrows from the graveyard too. You can tutor from the bin.
So that's perfect.
Yeah.
This kind of card ends up working really, really well. You can even put ways to cast it specifically from your graveyard, but usually those exile. So that might be problematic if you start
like flashing it back or something with like Leer or whatever.
Yeah, Leer and Snapcaster came to mind, but like that's problematic. But then again, casting the spell twice feels like you're winning, right? In this deck, it's maybe not. Maybe it's not powerful enough. I mean, that's a lot of drain. Yeah, thank you for putting 45 lands in this deck. Thank you for being aware. I feel like every other deck that you see is like not enough lands. This is right. This is good. You need the extra lands. Also, I want the world where you do the 45er, where you get every single one of your lands in play, and then you cast your last stand.
Yeah, give me that Nissa Who Shakes the World ultimate.
I'm not sure.
It wouldn't work in this deck, but like that effect, just get all the lands into play.
Hey, if we Nissa Who Shakes the World, we get 10 lands. That's a decent number. That's not a totally bad number. Yeah, you might also, like I said, well, the mana base is like balanced in the way that I would do it, because I hate the idea of playing like 6 Triomes and not the rest. Like that hurts my soul. But you probably need to cut off the ones that have the least colors, like probably your Xander's Lounges and your Savai Triomes.
Yeah, it makes sense to me that a deck built around making land drops is going to tilt towards green.
Yeah, I mean, it does, but it just makes me like, does it not hurt you like to build a mana base like this and not have it balanced? It really hurts me.
Oh, of course not. The deck is made of the deck itself isn't balanced. Why would the mana base be?
Yeah, I mean, this is your second win count in this deck is your Valakut.
Valakut, Field of the Dead, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other one. I would put in a Scape Shift for your Valakut victories. Scape Shift a lot, like you have ways to tutor up your you have ways to tutor up your main spell. If you already have that, Scape Shift is another way to go, and it's another great target to get. Plus, you don't need to sack all your lands if that's not what you need in that situation. This can just be like a 4-mana, get your 2 or 3 best lands. that you need, because
Yeah.
the deck overall, like, go get your Isengard, make sure you can't be countered. Go get this. Go get your Cave of Urza, which is here for some reason.
I mean, I could easily imagine a case where you have Bring to Light, but you can't make the 5 colors of mana to cast last hand, but you can obviously tutor up and cast Scape Shift.
Yes. Field of Dead, game changer, which should the only game changer that I completely and vehemently disagree with. But it's here. So actually, funnily, this deck got bumped. I think this deck was technically a 2, with, you know, it had a few tutors, but nothing crazy. It was technically a 2, I think, and it definitely got bumped to 3 by this Field of the Dead.
Yep.
Which is sad, because I don't think this is a 3, because you're doing a very niche game plan. It's very specific.
I think you should be allowed 1 game changer in bracket 2.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's funny. Yeah, maybe you're right. That's absolutely right. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say. Do you?
Nope.
I feel like I'm going too fast. Am I going too fast?
No, that was 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. I just felt like I'm like speeding through and like going through, but like I love this deck idea. See, like also specifically Perforos over these cards is better. Like 2 as a number is double 1, so it's a lot better. So because 2 is double 1, I think you should keep Perforos. You should cut these other Perforos equivalents in this deck. Also Dual Caster Mage. I love Dual Caster Mage.
That's a great card.
It sucks because ultimately Dual Caster Mage just goes infinite with a ham sandwich.
Yes.
And that's the issue with it. But it's such a cool card. All right, let's move on to our 4th deck, which is Kai's Super Friend deck. Now, specifically, we didn't have to even give advice in this deck. He wanted us to look at this. He mentioned he just wanted us to see it, in that this is his baby. He has this thing foiled out.
Ooh.
This is what the mana base
Holy
looks like.
Shit, look at the price.
Yeah. So this is not a budget deck. This is an absurdly expensive deck. He loves this deck.
Do you actually have the confetti foil shocks?
From what I remember reading this, yes, Kai does have. I actually played with Kai last night. It was very fun. But yes, this is his deck. I think he's missing maybe some duels or something, he said. Specific, but yes, he has like all of these. So the first thing that I mentioned as soon as I saw this deck is, did you see how many board wipes are in here? Because the number is 19. 19 board wipes is absurd. Now, this is your baby, and you should play it how you want, but that cannot be fun to play against. I can't imagine many people that want you to pull out this deck. This is a cool deck, but I would not want to play against this.
Yeah, me neither. I think this is like a supremely unfun deck to play against.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a bajillion planeswalkers. It's got the doublers. It just wants the old planeswalkers. Does it have doubling season? I can't remember if it had doubling season.
It had the Innkeeper's Talent, so I assume it has doubling season too. Yeah,
it does. It has both. Yeah. Also, you have the fun cat version, which is worth $700.
I'm waiting for, like, if there's eventually a Star Trek Secret Lair, I'm waiting for the Tribble doubling season. That'll be awesome.
Oh my god. The person, John Bauer, said $1,300.
Yeah, they were talking about the previous deck.
For the previous deck. Yeah. If you were shocked by that one, this one is $15,000. Oh my god.
Yeah, if you too, for $15,000, cannot have friends.
This deck really does say. So I do have to we'll give some advice here. This is a low land count, especially for a planeswalker deck that wants to be, your spells don't cost, they aren't cheap. Also, this is not I'll never be able to deal with this. Your spells aren't cheap. Let's see, what's the average cost here? Board wipes aren't cheap. 4.2, which I actually have written down the script, but yeah, 4.2 is a lot. You need 38 lands in this deck. Absolutely. Cut some basics. I don't imagine you don't need that many basics in this deck. This is a wild list. Imperial Seals hanging out up here with this. I didn't even see that.
Well, it's like it's the 20th board wipe. Right? Like, there just weren't more board wipes to put in there.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Jesus. Well, yeah, I mean, so for cuts, I would cut Architect of Thought. I don't think it's a very good Planeswalker commander.
Did you count Ugin as a board wipe?
I don't know if I did. There might be a 20 board wipe deck. I counted them, and I can't remember which ones I counted. It's either 20 or 19. But yeah, I would cut things like Jace, Architect of Thought. I don't think he's very good. I also Jace the Mind Sculptor, also mediocre. He's fine in Commander, but not a huge fan. I don't know what this is doing in there. This card is, I think, just terrible. This is one where I kept reading it over and over again to see, like, why is this? What is this? Where's the ability?
I don't know. Is there some red instant or sorcery that I'm missing?
Not really.
I guess if you have a red board wipe in the bin, then it lets you play a Planeswalker and wipe the same turn?
There's no red board wipes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would cut this. Let's see. You can... Kind of Inexorable is good when you specifically ult it. So I know decks like this like to play Planeswalkers for their ults, but it is a tough spot to be when you don't have it to ult, because its plus does nothing, literally nothing in your deck, because you don't have creatures. You have two. You have two creatures, so it is removal, but it's slow. Also a cuttable card.
You know what I'm interested in putting in here? You remember the Elder Spell?
The Elder Spell?
Yeah.
Type in the Elder Spell.
I remember making a lot of people very unhappy with Super Friends decks playing the Elder Spell.
The Elder Spell. Destroy any number of target Planeswalkers. Choose a Planeswalker you control. Put 2 loyalty on it for each. This card.
So you have, 3 or 4 Planeswalkers in play.
Yep.
You destroy all of them except one. And if that other one is Bolas Dragon God or Vraska or whatever, then you just immediately ultimate and win.
Yeah. If you want to play an ultimate win card, I believe I put it on here. Type in, Dreadhorde General.
Liliana.
Yeah. She's just the... You want the ultimate win card. That
was the wrong one.
What did I click?
I don't know.
I blame you. She's the Dreadhorde G.
General unit.
So Liliana, General G. This is the win. You just don't come back from this. Yeah. When this ult goes off, you win the game. This card's also incredible. It's such a strong Magic card, and if you're playing a Planeswalker deck, this goes in your Planeswalker deck. This card is incredible. Let me cut out that other Dreadhorde card I put in. I don't remember. It's probably... Oh, don't know what I did there.
Command the Dreadhorde. There it is.
Yes. Don't play Command the... You could.
Actually, you could, but...
You could, but you shouldn't. You should... Because you have better things like Eerie Ultimatum, which return all your Planeswalkers, which are much, much better for this deck. Another board wipe. I was like, what is... I don't recognize this card. Oh, it's just a board wipe.
So, I think this deck is extremely consistent at what it's trying to do. I think it's got almost all the cards in there that you want when you're trying to do that thing.
I got some suggestions.
Okay.
If you're not going to be fun, and you're already in tier 3 right now, so I don't know if you want to be in tier 3, but if you're going to stick to tier 3, which you are currently, Humility. Just put in Humility. Well, your deck is not fun already. We're not going to pretend like it's fun, right? Like, why not just be miserable? If the deck's going to be a miserable pile, make it a miserable pile. Embrace the miserableness that comes with this Planeswalker deck. That is fine. Like, Humility is a mean card, but no, it's meaner. 20 board wipes is meaner, I think.
Yeah, at least they have creatures.
I hate Humility. Well, this is one of my least favorite cards to play against in the world, but I suggest it. We can put in things like Commodore Gruff. This is the Planeswalker deck. Commodore Gruff is the Planeswalker... the Planeswalker. Let's cut Humility. Commodore Gruff, where are you? Right here. Commodore Gruff, at the beginning of your end step, put a loyalty counter on another target Planeswalker you control. He pluses to make red warrior creature tokens with tap add red that you can spend to cast Planeswalker spells. And -3, you draw X cards and deal X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of planeswalkers you control. He's the planeswalker. I mean, if you want to stick to some thematic in what the deck wants to do, perfect. Commodore Gruff fits perfectly. He's not busted or anything. He's not mean like a lot of the deck is, but he's fun.
Yeah, I mean, he might not be in there because he ends the game, and we can't have that.
Does he end the game?
I mean, progress is made towards lowering someone's life total.
Yeah, that's fair. So we don't want to do that? Is that how you suggestion? Don't try and win?
You don't sleep up this deck if you're trying to win the game, right? You're trying to keep the game going in a state where you are winning, but you never want to actually win.
Yeah, what other planeswalkers there? Oh, yeah.
Vronos. Yeah.
Vronos, yeah. He's the other planeswalker, right?
Yeah, for sure. This one is no-brainer.
You can't say no-brainer. It wasn't in the deck. Now you just insulted.
Well, it might not be in the deck because they don't have it foiled out, or like there's no cool art version. Like obviously there's some care being taken about which cards to put in here.
Yeah. So plus up to 2 target planeswalkers you control phase out at the beginning of your next end step, which is absurd. Also, if you make a second one of these with like a spark double, they can just never die basically, except to instant speed removal. Very silly. Each opponent returns up to 2 bounce stuff, and then artifacts you control become
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. This has a +1 to protect your planeswalkers. You know the weakest part of planeswalkers? They die to attacks. But not that this deck cares. But still play Vronos. I like Cursed Huntsman just because I love that. That is my other suggestion for Planeswalker. What was it?
The third one.
Cursed Huntsman. Oh, it's Cursed. I was just looking for Huntsman. Cursed Huntsman. 0 is to make a wolf. When they die, they do that. Destroy a creature, and you get an emblem creature control. That one doesn't matter. We just this card protects itself, destroys creatures, and draws cards, which is what kind of what Kaya does. But I think this card's better than Kaya because it also protects itself with wolves. Two wolves to protect is quite decent compared to a lot of these play tokens. You don't have to play. If you want another board wipe, Elspeth Sun's Champion is a board wipe. Makes tokens to protect your planeswalkers. If you want another, you're also playing 20 board wipes. Speaking of board wipes, we can play the Eternal Wanderer. It's a planeswalker board wipe. I mean, if somehow this one feels like the most missed card in the deck for me because it's like 20 planeswalkers, 20 board wipes. Play the planeswalker board wipe. You have one of them, play the other one. Like Eternal Wanderer is super strong, but I get. She doesn't sacrifice planeswalkers. I can't remember what her ult does.
No, it's just creatures.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just creatures, yeah. Sacrifice all creatures. But just play... This deck is silly. Also, play the Chain Veil. The Chain Veil is another ultimate planeswalker card that's just like, where's the Chain Veil? Chain Veil's amazing.
Yeah, Chain Veil, yeah. We don't make a ton of mana. I would say that there's that's the one thing in the deck that we struggle with. So Chain Veil... You like kind of need it to sit on the board for an entire turn. It's vulnerable to a lot of removal that is otherwise dead because it doesn't hit your planeswalkers. Chain Veil feels like it should be in the deck, but I can see not putting it in there as it's currently built.
You're lame.
Yeah.
You're lame. Put in the cool card. I think that's really it. I mean, you can play things like Evolution Sage and Flux Channeler for more proliferate. Just other ways to get your planeswalkers to ultimate, but ultimately this deck knows what it's doing. What's Rip? Oh yeah, type in Ripple of Potential. That I can't remember what that card does off the top of my head, but I had it in my suggestion. I think it's another proliferate card. Oh no, this card's great.
Oh, that card's sick.
Oh, this card's perfect in your deck. This is protect your planeswalkers and proliferate to get them off. Yeah, this is of all the cards I suggested, this is the ultimate 100%. This is the card that this deck is missing. Yeah.
Rob Rocks also suggests Chandra Legacy of Fire, which I think is much better than the Chandra that's currently in there.
It can't be worse than it, right?
It's the one that deals damage to opponents based on each planeswalker you control. It's the Commodore Guff on end step.
Oh yeah. So yes, let's type her in. Legacy of Fire.
Another one.
Where is she? Oh, she's up here. Oh, she only costs 5 mana? But yeah, remove loyalty counters from each of any number of permanents you control. Exile that many cards from the top of so she can draw.
Who cares about that? It's the static ability and the +1.
Yeah, at the beginning of your step, deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of planeswalkers you control. Yeah, I mean,
and +1.
Yeah,
add a red for each planeswalker you control.
Yeah, it's
card's bonkers.
Yeah, I mean this works perfectly. I mean we have to fairy here. We are in with Chain Veil. This is these two in Chain Veil is infinite. If this makes enough mana, so if this can activate Chain Veil every time.
Is that the fairy that untaps?
Yep.
It is, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you got a little infinite combo here.
It's
if you have the
not infinite because Teferi will eventually kill himself untapping things.
Oh. Yeah, wait.
But if you had the Teferi Sunset one, who pluses to untap things, that would be infinite.
Yeah, there's a way to make this. There's another way to make this infinite, I'm sure. I don't feel like going through all your infinite lines.
Yeah.
But this is fun. Jesus. Hi. We'll have to play sometime. Who has to play sometimes? Against this deck you want to play? I hope not.
No, he's talking to Skizix in chat.
Inexorable Tide, yeah. Inexorable Tide goes along with Flux Channeler, which I was mentioning before. Same concept. Just proliferate for your planeswalkers. But I think we're done with this deck.
I think so too, yeah.
This deck this was more of a showcase than anything else. It's $15,000.
Yeah, this is a trade binder more than it is a deck, I think. I don't know how often you're going to play it, but it is cool to have it together.
Yeah, very, very cool deck. I mean, this is... I don't know if I've ever had No, I have. I have had one $15,000 deck, but only because Post Malone essentially bought it for me. That's the only reason I've ever owned a deck that was this expensive. But...
You can't leave it there. What deck did Post Malone buy for you for $15,000?
My CDH deck that I have for a little bit. I don't have it together right now. But back when I was part of the Nitpicking Nerds, I had a joke tier at the very top of my Patreon. It was like, I can't remember. I think it was 10,000. No, I can't remember. It was a dumb amount of money for the cards I didn't have. But it was like 5,000 or something. It was a dumb amount. And Post Malone gave us that amount of money for more than 1 month.
Post Malone, do you know how many of these I will put in my mouth if you buy me a $15,000 CDH?
For a CDH deck.
I'll make that patron tier.
Yeah, I mean, this is why you make a dumb patron tier that's like stupid money, because who knows?
Yeah, one day someone might just trip and accidentally sign up for it.
That's how. I mean, that's when it happened. I was just like, I looked. I'm like, hey, some dude named Austin Post just gave us the biggest tier. That's really cool. And then I was with my friend. He's like, that's Post Malone. I'm like, no, that can't be. That doesn't make no sense. That's stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I heard actually though that he benefits an awful lot from auto-tune and other like software benefits to his voice. He's better in post.
I was wondering where I was going. I had no clue. I was just like, I just have to wait and let this play out. Mm-hmm. Yes, I don't know if I'm allowed to say proxy, but proxy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know where. My hot take is proxy as many cards as you want and buy nothing if you don't want to. Hot take.
Brought to you by Wizards of the Coast.
Brought to you by Wizards of the Coast. Ooh, I love this deck. Next deck we have Baethor, which I hate his name because it's so weird to say.
It's Baeloth, actually.
Baeloth, because it's Baratil Entertainer. So this deck was submitted by Red. And this is companioned with, well, not companion, this is background with Raised with Giants. I mean, perfect synergy. Because Baelor cares about, with his power, creatures with less power are goaded. And whenever a goaded creature that is attacking or blocking dies, you create a treasure token. If his base power toughness is 10, everything is goaded essentially on the field. So this is an awesome little thing. This first thing at heart, this is a stompy deck. Oh, I love a stompy deck. Though I will say, I think you need a couple more big creatures because you do have a good stomp. You have some good stomp here. This deck is so cool.
Yeah, I'm liking the look.
Oh wait, no wait, he does have big creatures. That's right. We're sorted wrong. Because I'm gonna go bananas not seeing in the mana. Look, it's a stompy deck now because I can see it in order of mana value.
It's like that Spider-Man meme where Peter Parker has his glasses on and then doesn't.
That's literally. I actually thought, like, did I write something wrong? Because I only saw like 2 big things at the bottom. I'm like, maybe I wrote something wrong. But no, this is a Stompy deck at heart, which is my bread and butter. I love Stompy decks. But if you're going to be a Stompy deck like this, up your creature count. Get that count up to 40 if you can. If you're also hot take. Land Elves is in your deck. Elvish Mystic and Fintorn Elf should also be in your deck. I don't think there is any deck in the world that wants to play, other than maybe a Landwire themed deck, that wants to play just one of the versions of this.
I don't know, maybe, right? Like, because I know that they're functionally the same card, but I can definitely think of a deck that only wants one instance of that effect versus
No way.
3 of them.
I can't. I see that deck doesn't exist in my head.
All right, so here's what I would have to say then. If you believe that, then you need to find the 2 other cards that you would cut to put those in there.
In this deck, easy.
Okay.
This deck is throw a possibility, easy. Sword of Feast and Famine's mediocre. There's a lot of things to cut. I like taking out Utopia Sprawls to put more creatures base ramp in this deck. This deck also wants Delighted Halfling up here too. But like,
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. This deck wants all the 1-mana dorks. This like I said, you want to transition. You could play like, I would cut Fireseek, I would cut Rampant Growth. I like leaving a couple things like Nature's Lore, 3 visits, cut Cultivate, put it all on creatures. There's more. There's also. I really.
So why do you say that? Because chat's pushing back on you a little bit, saying that anything on a creature is much more vulnerable, and that's true.
That is true. So when you play more creatures, you get synergies like just put in Beast Whisperer. I mean, you guys know Beast Whisperer. But so the thing here is, yes, you are much more vulnerable. You are absolutely 100% your deck. The deck becomes weak to board wipes. That is true. But your deck gains a ton of synergy with cards like Beast Whisperer and anything that cares about creatures. There is way more synergy with creatures. You can afford to put a card in like Skull Clamp now that makes your deck much stronger because you have all the dorks. And the dorks are very Skull Clampable and gives you more synergy to turn your ramp into card draw later in the game when you don't necessarily need the ramp. What are you thinking? I see your mind going.
I mean, I get that, but so you're coming up with ways to turn these mana dorks into value, and the point is that if your board gets wiped, then if you have a bunch of these mana dorks in play, and you're exposing yourself to losing a ton of value from a board wipe that is surely coming because we don't end the game very quickly. So I feel like you're more likely to get value in the long term if you don't put it on dorks and you keep it on other sources.
Fair. So yeah, my deck building philosophy here is the more synergistic and streamlined you can make your deck, the stronger it tends to become. And this has been my experience from playing. The mana dorks are just the mana dorks are incredible, costing 1 mana. I think they're often underestimated just how powerful this being 1 mana compared to this being 2 mana is.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, the dorks are fine to get wiped away early, but so when I have Beast Whisperer out, when I draw Fireseek later in the game, it doesn't do anything. When I have Beast Whisperer out and I draw Landwire late in the game, it now draws me a card. And when you have synergies like that in your deck, and I wish my mind is not working a ton, but when you have, there's a ton of synergies like this to build into, to make your deck focus and care about creatures. Even for example, like playing something like a Kratos Behemoth. Not necessarily that this deck wants Kratos Behemoth or doesn't, but then Lambros again runs over and becomes part of your Kratos Behemoth to potentially make something lethal that wasn't lethal.
Sure.
And like these are all the things that like I think you get from doing that. I also love this card. But I think funnily enough, I would cut this creature for a non-creature spell in this deck because if we're gonna play this effect, I like Kenrith's Transformation. And the reason I like Kenrith's Transformation more is it draws a card when it enters. So a vanilla 3/3 is kind of whatever. Plus when you... I have a question. When you cast Trickster on the stack for its bestow cost, is it or on the stack?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you don't even get like your triggers like this. And a vanilla 3... I'd rather draw a card than have a vanilla 3/3 on the board.
So does Beast Whisperer care about a creature card or a spell? Spell, yeah. Yeah. So I think I would cut this for Kenrith's Transformation if you want to play that effect. But yeah, I'm not saying play no ramp. I would play Nature's Lore,
3 Visits, and Sky Shroud Claim. Those are the ones I would keep. And then I would turn the rest of this ramp, your Cultivates, your Fire Seeks, and your Rampant Growth, into Dorks. Like, I'm not saying play no creature. You should play some real ramp. But I'm firmly on the increasing your creature count in your creature deck is genuinely a good thing almost always. So let's see. Let's talk about a little bit of vegetables. The deck just needs a little bit of card draw. I mentioned Beast Whisperer, but also you can play Orin Frostfang and Toski, which say when you deal combat damage to a player, you can type one in. When you deal combat damage to a player, draw a card for each creature without damage.
Is it Frostfang?
Yeah, what do you type?
Well, I wasn't sure if it was all one word or not, but I guess on Moxfield it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this and Toski work well. This is another synergy, right? Because your mana dorks with Death Touch now become able to draw cards. All these little things matter a lot. I think you guys are right to worry about board wipes, right? Your creature decks become weaker. And you are right to worry there. But also, your creature decks become more synergistic when you add a ton of creatures to them. And all these little synergies are, I think, stronger than your weakness to board wipes.
Yeah, I think you've convinced me of that.
I'm very adamant on that. Little short on removal. You can add Dryad, my Druid of Purification. Play this card. I'm gonna, every time I stop by and do some of these deck techs, I'm gonna advocate for this card. This is maybe the most underplayed card in Commander. This card is incredible. This 3-for-1 on a creature for your creature decks is just incredible. Like this is kind of I would describe this as a spell rate. Getting that 3-for-1 for 4 mana, that's instant sorcery. You can get that in instant sorceries.
It's kind of cute as a political tool too, because usually when you're at the table and someone else is going off and the other 3 are like, can you do anything about this? And you're the Stompy deck. You're like, well, I can try to kill him. But actually, with this card, you can be like, no, actually, yeah, no, we can deal with a bunch of stuff on his board if it gets to my turn.
Yeah, there's also another thing about Druid of Purification is it's fun. Everyone getting to pick, you get the funny times when people pick the same cards because it doesn't matter, or someone just like, I'm not picking. So it's a fun card. On top of being incredibly powerful, it is a fun Magic card. I mean, actually, did I say 3-for-1? I meant 4-for-1. This card's a 4-for-1 when everyone picks something, and you lose nothing.
Yep.
Yeah. Underutilized. But yeah, you just need 4 removal spells is my suggestion. I mentioned Kenrith Transformation. You don't need anything crazy in this deck. Cuts. I think this card sucks. Fiendish Duo, I am just not a fan of this card. I think the double damage thing is just kind of overrated. It's fine. I guess I'm exaggerating because I hate this card. I am like a huge hater of the Fiendish Duo type card, but it's fine. I would cut it though.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are better damage doublers.
Yeah.
Like, I think instead of this, like, Axino or something would be a better include. This is just so unlikely to actually be able to do its thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess, for example, we can just move over here. This card's better. It's a flyer. It's a 6/6. I do understand that the upside of this one is for 1 more mana, it does make your opponent's creatures do it, which it does go with our goat theme, so I do get it. So I do understand this could work. It works good with the goad. Yes, I was just, yeah. It is good on the theme. It is for the people. Blast Furnace Hellkite is another one that works well with the goad. You goad all the creatures that's attacking. But I think the weakness of these cards is when where a commander isn't doing its thing, these cards are bad.
Yeah.
I think that there is something to be said for if a card is bad without your commander, is it worth playing? There is definitely discussions about cards. World Soul's Rage feels like the most out of place card in this deck.
Yeah.
I don't like. We have big stompy creatures. We're goading. I honestly, this is one of those question mark cards where I'm like, am I missing something? Because I can't find the reason to play this. We're not putting a ton of lands in our graveyard.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is if it's some crazy meta call where you're up against the group hug player who gifts you a ton of mana and cards, and you just want a way to dump them out of your hand onto the battlefield. But if that's not the case, then I feel like this card's missing, like, in the wrong place.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Yeah, but yeah. Do I have any more cuts? up in. I would add, because this deck is hungry for mana, I would add a couple of mana doublers, actually. I like Regal Behemoth as a stompy creature. Enters, makes you the Monarch, and doubles your mana while you're the Monarch. Love that card. You can also play Zendikar Resurgent, double your mana, draw when you cast creatures. Perfect for this deck. I said I don't. I'm like on the fence about this. Well, the only reason I'm on the fence about this card, I think its effect's fine, but we can have 2 artifacts.
Yeah, was there a Turn Timber Symbiosis in here? I didn't see it. No.
Yeah, that's a staple card that should definitely be in here. You're, in my general rule of thumb is if you are playing a 2-color deck, stuff in as many MDFCs as you can. MDFCs, the lands. So there's the new Battle at Bridgeworks.
Yep.
Incredible for this deck. All the untapped ones turn Timber Symbiosis. Shadow Skull Smashing, the red one that destroys a land. I can't think of its name. It's not in here. So
Pinnacle Monk, is that the one?
Pinnacle Monk. That Pinnacle Monk is also good. It's not a great card, but it comes.
No, that's the one that regrows the instant sorcery.
Which
yeah.
It's hilarious. That card on a would you ever play Rego instant sorcery in this deck? No, but when it's on a land that comes in untapped that is absolutely free, yeah, I'll throw it in my deck every single time. That is 100% perfect. You get big draws with draw spells and let you dump the land.
The World Soul's Rage, as they're talking about.
The World Soul's Rage, yeah. That's true. I still don't think it's worth it. It's just we can play a better Fireball, right? Like I can't think of money, but I think I'd rather just play Fireball because the lands is so. But you want to put all the lands in play. That's the idea. But it's like we're put into a situation. It's like World Soul's Rage is very good under this very specific situation. But when you don't have that situation, so you don't have when you haven't cast one of these 3 spells right here, your Risk Cards, Seasons Gathering, or Return of the Wild Speaker before World Souls, it's a bad card.
And even in the case, I think, where it is doing its thing, like, you've cast your big ass draw spell. You had enough mana to cast your big ass draw spell, get the huge effect. The marginal benefit of putting a few lands into play after that is not great, right? Like, jumping from 7 mana to 10, if you get to dump 3 lands from your hand, is not nearly as high impact as it would be from like 4 to 7 or something.
Yeah, especially when they're from your hand rather than the graveyard. It's even like it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I like just to speak to World Soul's Rage here. I'd rather have it be. Because you're drawing like that. I'd rather play a Reliquary Tower, which you have. Wow, but I'd rather play a Thought Vessel then or something. Just to hold all the cards in your hand rather than a card that's going to be consistently better. When I don't, because like. I don't like Thought Vessel in this deck, actually. Like, I would never put it in. But I think it's better than World Soul's Rage, because just holding the cards in your hand is almost just as powerful. And Thought Vessel does something when I don't have all those cards in my hand.
Yeah, you're looking for a card that has a much higher floor.
Yeah.
World Soul's Rage,
basically. Yeah, exactly. Okay, first thing, we're Stompy, baby. I love this deck. I love me a good Stompy deck. If you're going to... But Blast Furnace Hellkite is going to cost us 9 mana every time.
Oh, sorry.
No,
you were asking me to.
No. Put in Apex Devastator. If you're gonna spend 9 mana for this doubler, let's just go big, huge, and even crazier in this deck with our Apex Devastator, because we would spend 9 mana for this, which I get the little synergy, but this card is not worth 9 mana. It just isn't. This card is worth playing when you can sacrifice those artifacts and get its cost down. Do not play this for 9 mana. It is not a 9 mana spell. I love this card, but it is not a 9 mana spell. Play something like a big dumb thing like this. Ooh, a raid. Thanks for the raid, BCCMTG. Appreciate the raid. But yeah, you don't have to play Apex Devastator. That's just my love card.
Joe wants to put more mana dorks into play and then play a Cascade card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me to be clear, cascading into a Farseek is not better than cascading into a mana dork. You piece of garbage. I also don't really like tinkering that much. Much better than I think inspired tinkering is I suggested in the other deck. 5 mana, exile 5 cards.
Escape to the Wilds.
Escape to the Wilds, yeah. I think it's just much better than this card on average. Escape to the Wilds is a great, nice card advantage. Hey-oh, how's it going? Thanks for the first message, Mr. Maestro. This deck, but I love this concept. So one thing that's cool about this is this little concept here doesn't, because these two work together so well, it doesn't require you to do anything else with the commander. It is incredibly strong. You could add artifact synergies, don't need them. You could add more goat synergies, don't need them, because this is already powerful enough to win games by itself. And I do love the idea that this little guy, who his career is entertaining, has been raised by giants. You know, that is his background. That's where he comes from.
I mean, the funniest comedians usually had weird childhoods.
Yeah.
So.
Also, because you look at all these big giant creatures. Savala Stampede, another underplayed gem that I absolutely think more people should play. Especially because this works really well. Speaking of, with your Rich Cards expertise, when you draw a ton of cards, now you do this and you can put cards from your hand or from your deck, depending on what people vote on. And like, you always vote for your deck because decks tend to be better. If you're voting, it's rare to vote for your hand. One of my friends explains, like, if they're putting, on average, when they put from their hand, they're putting in stronger cards. On average, when they're putting from their deck, they're getting card advantage though. So like, there's a weird spot to be in where it's like, do I want to roll the dice and hope they hit something bad, or do I want to let them put 4 big things from their hand into play? What do you think is the right choice in general?
I don't think you can answer that question in general, right? Like, it's completely situational. Mm-hmm. I would say that, I guess you're casting this at 6 CMC. Like, so you're casting this relatively late in the game. Anything stuck in someone's hand at that point in the game is probably a big banger. But they're also, like, they could be low on resources, so you don't want to give them the card advantage. I would say it probably depends on how many things you expect to be put into play from people's hands. And there's some number there that you make the decision based on. Yeah,
I think you should pick hand most of the time. I think is if there is a pick of, like, I had to default, I think I would default the hand because I don't want to give the card advantage on top of the.
Yeah, a random card from someone's deck might be much worse than what a card
especially
in their hand
because
is likely to be.
A deck like this that if I built it would have many mana dorks. So there is those whiff skis that can have. Also, this card is incredible. If you are playing exactly a red green deck, every red green deck should have this card, and they don't. And I know they don't. But this is so underappreciated, and I appreciate that you put it in and are aware of how this card is. This is the best ramp spell in your deck. It's not even close.
Yeah.
The card is so good.
How about we have 2 medallions stapled to each other?
Yes. Yeah. What if so there are cards called the Familiars that do a similar thing, but it's a it's a black card that makes red and blue spells costs. I don't like that card because it doesn't reduce your black spells in your 3-color Grixis deck. I love this. Every spell in your deck except for these 2 is 1 less. That is incredible. I love this card.
Okay. Anything else about this one?
Like Grand Arbiter without the annoying tax. And he costs 2 less mana. This card, I think this card, in general, in a red-green deck versus Grand Arbiter this card is better, I'm going to say. I'm going to say this card's better in a red-green than Grand Arbiter is in a blue-white deck because of the 2 mana. Hot take.
Yeah, I mean, and especially in these decks where you're trying to dump your hand. Like, I think that this deck benefits more from a discount than the blue-white one does, where you're trying to get to the late game and have mana naturally anyway.
I think it's funny. I know this card exactly, but I only know it as Daryl. So when I looked at it, it's very funny that this card, not related to The Walking Dead at all, makes a walker. Just silly little thing. All right.
Well, you just know that some non-Spider-Man card is gonna, like, make a web-slinging token or something.
Oh,
or a counter.
Oh, it's very, very funny. You saw all the you obviously yeah. I mean, people seem to not be aware. The reason for this is they don't want Arena. Arena is a direct competitor with Marvel Snap, which is why I assume they don't want.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
It's like that seems obvious to me, but people were like arguing with me when I was talking about it. I'm like, getting sandwiches now, hell yeah! I do love food. We're moving on to our next deck.
Yeah, you're moving on to our next deck. I'm gonna take a couple-minute break. I'll be right back.
Fine.
Okay.
fine. But then no one's going to be here to prompt me about the things I forgot about.
That's what chat's for.
Yeah, chat. What did I forget? Do you think they're going to tag Spider-Man as a human spider? No, I think did he have spider typing? We already have a Spider-Man spoiled. Hold on, let me look. I don't think he has spider typing. You got me curious though. Nope, he's a spider. He does have. So yep, he does. So Spider-Man is a hero, human, spider. So yes, he does. Funnily, have the spider typing. You're right. It's spider. Yeah, he's also a spider. All right. Our next deck is Tesa Carlo. And if you don't know Tesa Carlo, it is if a creature dying causes a trigger to build of a permanent you control the trigger, then it triggers an additional time, and your creature tokens have vigilance and lifelink. It is very interesting that it is that he is a spider. I didn't think he would be a spider. All right, let's see. Back to my notes. All right, this is Tesa Carlo. So this Tesa Carlo deck was submitted by Wesley. It's aristocrat tokens, as you would suspect, from Tesa Carlo, and it was a gift from their son that they've been upgrading over time. The deck is really good. I immediately when I got this deck and I started looking at it, this deck's built very, very strongly. Honestly, this is the kind of deck where it's just like, I could see this being a final build that I made, so it's really cool. The deck does not have infinite combos in it. I believe is it completely devoid of infinite combos? I think it's completely devoid, but it's tough. When you have something like Phyrexian Altar, it's tough to be 100% sure. I can't remember if I found a combo in here. But there's like probably a 3 or 4 card combo. I would be shocked if this deck does not have a 3 or 4 card combo in it somewhere. But that's happenstance. It's the way the cookie crumbles. So let's move on. Our vegetables. This deck needs a few more card draw spells. We're aristocrats. We just want our Midnight Reapers. Are amazing. We're talking about our vegetables. Yeah, Midnight Reaper. I can't spell. I need Airball. I mean, you know your Midnight Reapers. Creature dies, draw a card. Boom. It is non-token, but this deck has plenty of non-tokens. There is going to be some Nambo in this deck because we do make some tokens, but it's still one of the best choices for this deck. Dark Prophecy is another one you can add to this deck. Which one is Dark Prophecy? Dark Prophecy. I can type. Dark Prophecy is right here. It's just another, whenever a creature you control dies, you draw a card. And this one does count tokens, so it has more synergy with the deck. The deck just needs a few more card draw spells, and this is the way to go with it. I think these are the best ones. Other than that, the deck needs a little bit more removal. You can put it on creatures, like we were talking about earlier, Chupacabra, and stuff like that. These cards are totally fine. But also, I found a really fun card that I think this deck should play, which is super silly. It is... Where is it? Where are you? Yoke of the Damned. Shriekmaw, Chupacabra, all those should be included. I think fit perfectly in this deck. But Yoke of the Damned is an enchantment. You enchant a creature. When enchanted creature dies, Wait. When a creature dies, destroy... Oh, wait, this doesn't work. Never mind. Don't play Yoke to the Damned. I read this card wrong. Oh, I thought I had something cool. Sorry. I'm very disappointed. I read that card completely wrong. This card needs more ramp. All right, the cuts from this deck. I would cut Adeline. She doesn't really provide much synergy. She works with the kind of the token part of Tesa Carlo. I needed you because I can't type. My typing was terrible.
It's not so easy, is it?
Yeah, I typed instead of nai. Didn't work.
Very different.
Yes, I think Adeline's a clean cut from this deck. We are an aristocrat strategy. It does make 3 tokens, but we have to attack in with it. It just doesn't really, I think, fit what we're doing. What else do they have? Batwing. What the heck is Batwing Broom? I don't even know what that is. I gotta find it. Is there even a card called that in the deck, or is it down here?
Maybe you couldn't type then.
Yeah, maybe I can't. I'm looking at my script. Batwing Broom. There it is. Batwing Broom. Prevent all combat. I think fogs are bad. My general suggestion is just don't play do not play fogs in your deck. If you like them and it is a pet card, play it. But on an honest note of like trying to make your deck a little stronger, and this deck, this was a gift from their son that they've been upgrading and they're trying to make better. This is the kind of card that for making a deck stronger you can cut. And if you want, and also if you want to go this route of like a fog-ish thing, Ink Shield. Yes, exactly. It makes tokens which will have lifelink that can be sacrificed. Just go big and silly with it. I also think Ink Shield is actually a better card than this, though it does require more mana. NerdGirl! She brought us subs!
She did.
You're the best.
Thanks, guys.
No, thank you.
Hey, Joe, you want my pickle?
No, I hate pickles. You want our pickles, NerdGirl?
Give you both.
You could have both of our pickles.
This is why we need veggie.
Yeah, Veggie's the pickle. Yeah, Veggie would take both our pickles. That's true.
And he has.
Oh my!
I'm gonna steal one of those paper towels from you, though.
Yeah, that makes sense. They weren't both for me.
No.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. What else am I cutting here? Oh, Lightning Greaves. I am a true believer when it comes to Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots. My rule of thumb is if you don't need the haste, I don't think the protection is good enough to play this card. I mean, it is a great card, and people love this. I am honestly, I'm just on the track of I don't play this if I don't exactly need the thing. Play, like you have Teferi's protection here. That's just a much better protection spell, I think. I know it's only one time. I don't know. I've never been a fan of Greaves if you don't need the haste. That's just where I live. Now watch me eat my balls. This is the second time I've done Deck Tech Snake Balls. I know, surprisingly only the second.
But not the last.
If you're going to run a fog, I prefer darkness. Yeah, if you're looking for mana efficiency, rather than play this like mild upside card that does some draining and gaining, loses life for each attacking creature he or she controls with Blacklist spent. Yeah, I agree. I would play darkness before this, but also I wouldn't play darkness. Thanks for the chat interaction. It helps add more notes to it. I appreciate you. What is his name? Redski.
This is the person who submitted the previous deck? Or the one right before?
I think so, yeah. Hey, everybody. Hope you're having an excellent stream. Can't wait to hang with y'all at Commander Seal. Big muscles. Commander Seal? Are you guys doing Commander Seal this year?
I don't know. I don't know when it is this year. It feels like I was just there. Like this year just sort of flew by.
Oh, man. That is crazy. It's not that far away. It really isn't.
When is it?
It's like 5 months, right?
Yeah, it felt like I was there like 2 months ago.
Yeah. Ooh, I might be there this year. Yeah, if we're doing it.
Oh, it's close to. Well, it was close to where you're from, right? I don't know if it's still in the same place.
Oh, it's an hour drive from where I live, so that would be super nice. Actually, that would be amazing. I didn't even think about that. Let's see. Oh, I would cut. Where's pest control? I don't like pest control. Where is it? I thought it was in here. Am I crazy?
Pest control is in the deck. That feels really weird.
Where? Yeah, it says cuts. Pest control. It's a sorcery. It should be right. Oh, it's right here.
It's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this card. I think it was in here as a way to kill off your tokens when you don't have a sack outlet, but just add another sack outlet. And I know it has the upside of like sometimes it'll really blow out another token player. Not a fan. I think the card is generally pretty weak for Commander, and just not a card you want to be playing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just don't like this damn art. It's so weird to me. His mouth is huge.
It's
like,
pretty creepy.
It's really, really big. Like, it's so weird.
I guess if you play it at like a high bracket level, Pest Control is kind of nice because it can kill Moxen and that kind of thing. But
Yeah, Pest Control is a card that gets better as the power heart level gets higher. That is a very true statement. Could be a meta call. That's true. Oh yeah, Coaling Ritual. I don't like Pest Control. I love Coaling Ritual. It's very funny because like you wouldn't think like moving this up to 2 would be that much crazier, but it really is because of mana.
massively, yeah.
Because I think specifically the thing that really like bumps it is all of the 2 mana rocks that exist.
Well, yeah, and it goes mana positive.
Yeah, that card's sweet.
Pest Control is always your 2 mana. You're spending 2 mana on it.
Oh yeah, you also fell for the trap. The feed the swarm trap. So the reason you play Feed the Swarm in your black decks is you can't answer enchantments. So that's why you play Feed the Swarm. We're in white. White can answer enchantments. There's no reason to play Feed the Swarm. Play a Beast Within. Or, play your Generous Gifts. Play any number of spells that answer in white that are better. Feed the Swarm is a bad rate. Or it's a mediocre rate at sorcery speed. You can just make this an instant and kill creatures and enchantments and every other permanent type. You're also like Anguish to Making just covers your bases. Like your Vindicates cover your bases. Fracture covers your bases. Not that I'm a huge Fracture fan, but it's totally fine.
Veggie's a big fan of that card.
A Fracture?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never been a huge Fracture fan.
Me neither.
It sounds like a band. Like I just don't. Fracture's new song just doesn't do it for me. Oh, my balls are coming out of the bun.
Yeah, they're too wet.
My balls are too wet.
Well,
Sweet the Fun for Generous Gift. Yep, exactly. Naturalized. Okay. Disenchant. No naturalized. We're not in green. Rob the Princess. But yeah, disenchant.
you should still play around it anyway.
Play around disenchant. You get the longer stream because you get the longer deck type because we're eating balls. Mm-hmm. Ooh, my new favorite card for this deck from the brand new set. Fenza. I clicked the wrong one. Damn it. Don't play this card. This card sucks. Should have had you do this. Oh, no. Not Anzafen. Anafenza, Unyielding Lineage. I believe that one's it. Yes. New card. It is a flash 2/2 with first strike. And whenever another non-token creature enters, you endure 2. That just means you get to, every time you play a creature, you get another token. So you just keep getting tokens. Perfect for this deck. Perfect for sacrificing. And they'll have lifelink for what it's worth. Not that that is huge because it's more of an aristocratic deck. But yeah, I really like Anafenza in this deck. I love when you get to add like new cards to a deck. Oh, I love all. Okay, so there is a million of these. There's 1 mana, dies, do something. I think you should basically play every single one of them. I'll put what's the weirdest? Put in Nested Shambler. So when it dies, create X tap where X is its power. It's 1. It's never not going to be 1 really in this deck, but you get 2. So in these cards, when you have your commander, are incredible. Like they go from being these mediocre, get 2 bodies from 1 mana, still to get 3 bodies from mana, which is such a huge, stupid jump in power that it's ridiculous. And there is a lot of these. There is Hunted Witness, dies to make a 1/1. Doomed Traveler dies to make a 1/1. Nested Shambler, which I just went over. Shambling Ghast, which I think dies into a treasure specifically, but still very strong to get 2 treasures out of it. Greedy Freebooter also dies into a treasure. Infestation Sage dies into
A spirit or a bat or something. It's like a 1/1 flyer.
it's a 1/1 flyer, yeah. And Garrison Cat also dies into a soldier. I think this deck can literally play all of them, and it will also because all of them work super well with Tesa. You get to drop your mana cost a ton in a deck like this, and like it when you can get your mana cost down by like cutting things like Adeline or you can you could cut this. It draws cards, but cutting maybe Thalise. I think Thalise is an easy cut from this deck. You can cut these high end cards that aren't necessarily that good. You can cut and then put them all in that one slot, and suddenly this deck is like, oh, we're just cruising along super early in the game. But this deck, this is another deck once submitted, and I first looked at it. It's a good deck. You built a good deck. It's solidly put together. There's really not, there isn't a ton to change other than I don't think Blasphemous Edict is very good. I think this card's actually kind of bad. When I first saw it spoiled, I'm like, oh, that card's awesome. But the difference between this and something like Blasphemous Act, which is what it gets compared to, is Blasphemous Act only needs 8 creatures and it's reduced for every single creature. This, you need 13 for it to be good.
Yeah, it's much worse.
Yeah, so I think you just don't play this card.
Also, somehow, if someone has 14 or 15 creatures, which isn't crazy, they get to keep the best ones, right?
Yeah.
If they have a bunch of tokens.
Yeah, not a big fan of the card. Bastion of Remembrance is good here. Bastion of Remembrance is solid. It fits in this. I didn't list these effects. There's already a million in the deck. Your Blood Artist, your Vengeful, your Zuluports, they're in the deck. You can add more if you want, or you can no, don't cut them. But you can add more if you'd like. But specifically, they're just here. Like they're already here. Bastion's just another one of the effects. It's not in here, right? Oh, it is here. Never mind. You're wrong. It's here. You're fired. You're both fired. Jesus is fired. Bring out your dad, I guess.
Don't worry. In 3 days, he'll come back.
Oh, one more card. Hallowed Spirit Keeper. I love this card. When it dies, you make X 1/1 spirits with flying, where X is the number of creatures in your graveyard. Love this card. If you doubling up this trigger, you can make so many creatures. You can sacrifice all your creatures first, put them all in the graveyard, and then do it. And in case of a board wipe, you get a ton because all your creatures are leaving the battlefield anyway. Perfect. It's a dies trigger, and it makes a ton of spirits. So, I mean, yeah, you built a great deck here. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to improve when you've done something so strong. But we had some suggestions for you. You did a great deck, great build.
Okay, what's up next?
We have Dead's Lurrus cat deck. So, boom.
I don't know. For some reason I read the words out of order and I saw Lurrus as dead cats.
Lurrus.
Okay.
This deck does have one big restriction. If you don't know, Lurrus is specifically you can play things with mana value 2 less from your graveyard once a turn. It's really strong card. Almost stupid strong, some would say.
Yeah, it was banned in Vintage for power level, and they're talking about doing it again.
Again?
Yeah.
Really? That's funny. I didn't know they were talking about doing it again. All right, so the one thing this deck has to have is all cat creatures. So if you're wondering why there are so many bad cards here that you would not normally play under normal circumstances, it is because of that restriction.
Okay.
So this is a cats deck. Black-white cats is not a real cat color, so we're stuck in a weird spot. But nonetheless, this deck is still not terrible. For your fruits and veggies, very simple. You just need 2 more ramp spells, 2 more removal spells, and six more card draw. The thing that's lacking in the deck is definitely card draw. It definitely needs more of it. Though it does have the fun little, you can do these over and over again. You should add Mishra's Bauble, though it might be a budget thing, but you are in a $600 deck. Mishra's Bauble should also be here.
Is Mishra's Bauble an expensive card?
Let's see. I think it's like...
I didn't think it was.
I thought it was like $10.
Yeah, $1.79.
That's nothing. No, so you should definitely be playing Mishra's Bauble. Even if, like, Conjurer's Baubles could be cut if you wanted to. Like, this card's kind of mediocre. And Mishra's Bauble's way better. Where is Mishra's Bauble? I'm not seeing
top left. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got an Enlightened Tutor, so we're definitely the restriction you've put yourself on is going to make this deck weak, which is cool. It's a 2. Cut the Enlightened Tutor. You don't want to be in 3. Not that it makes a huge difference overall. Most people are just 2s and 3s are just going to mesh all the time. But I personally would push it down to a 2 myself and just cut Enlightened Tutor, which isn't even like insane in this deck. It's just okay.
Yeah, just like save yourself the conversation if you go to a con or an LGS.
Yep, exactly. Oh.
You okay?
A little bit of trouble. I'm trying not to get things dirty in here.
Well, NerdGirl will blame me anyway, so.
What did I do?
If Joe gets sauce all over your stuff, it's going to get blamed on me.
Correct.
Yeah.
You are the adult.
That is definitely true.
Yeah, you made a mistake putting us two doing this today.
Oh, man. Let's see. All right, so for some cuts. Leonin Elder is, I believe, just really bad. Let's see. I actually don't know where it is. It's going to take me forever to find it. I don't know what any of these cards do because they're weird cats.
I don't see it.
Is that what I typed in? Leonin?
Oh, it's a second card.
Oh, this card's terrible. When an artifact comes into play, gain a life. Even in your cat restrictive deck, this card is terrible. Like, don't play this.
Yeah. It has everything going for it in this deck. It's a cat, which cuts out most other cards. It's less than 2 CMC, so Lurrus can replay it. And it's still awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is not playable. My rule of Commander Dreadhorde is if your deck doesn't have a substantial amount of life gain, do not play it. This costs a lot of life. You need to be able to offset this for this card to be good. I would rather play... I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it in this deck. But if I don't have life gain, I'd rather play Rise of the Dark Realms at 9 mana, where I don't lose life, but I pay 3 more mana. This is... As much as your deck does have very cheap stuff, like, 1, 2, a lot of cheap stuff to return, the issue becomes it just adds up so quick. If you return 10 1-mana creatures, that's 10 life. And it's just like, yeah. You do the math. Mm-hmm. Do the math for me.
Checks out.
I'm going to go do my last errand, and then I'll bring coffee back.
Yes.
Chocolate?
Chocolate, please. NerdGirl's the best. You guys know that.
Okay, maybe I am the adult.
I'm definitely a child. I've never denied in my life being a child. Don't shake your head at me.
I do love... I have fond memories of playing the Command the Dreadhorde and the Wanderer combo.
Oh, yes. I do love that little combo. It's very cute. I also love Commander Dreadhorde. I just don't think it's good unless you have life gain.
Has this deck been updated since Bloomborough? I don't think I saw any Bloomborough cards. We did get some cool cats.
I did go through cats to find some to add. But I don't think I got anything from Bloomborough.
9 Lives Familiar, I think, was Bloomborough. And I think Helpful Hunter was also Bloomborough. Helpful Hunter might have been Foundations.
Oh, yeah, 9 Lives Familiar. Let's put that in here. 9 Lives Familiar is, like, awesome in this deck.
That's funny, actually. If you could play 9 lives as well. And you probably should.
know what it does.
9 lives familiar. When the cat dies, it comes back the very next day. It starts with 8 counters on it. When it dies, if it had a counter on it, it comes back at the next end step with 1 less counter on it.
Yes. I mean, this fits the deck perfectly. It's an infinite chump blocker. I mean, it's better than what most things we're doing in here, right? You also, I think you need to cut a Johnny's Pride Mate.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's just,
Probably like the best cat. It just has no support.
we only Lurrus, and Lurrus can't attack much. Lurrus attacks maybe once in the game, and then it's just stonewalled by everything. Let's see. Felidar Guardian. I mean, there's not a ton of ETBs here, but there's enough that this cat is just gonna work. I mean, you do have things like the healer, the Regal when it enters. I mean, it's not a ton, but it is definitely worth it. It's still one of the better cats, and because we're stuck on this cat restriction, I think you just have to play it. It just fits perfectly. A good card draw spell, Conjurer's Mantle. This is an underutilized card in my opinion. Conjurer's Mantle is 1 in the white, equips for 1, equipped creature has +1/+1 in vigilance, equipped creature attacks. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal one that shares a creature type with it, put it into your hand, and the rest of the bottom. So I think that this is like, should be more, if you're in a white typal deck, staple. Like, just throw this in.
Yeah,
this card is great. You also, I think you already had Heirloom Blade, which is like kind of the other version of this. When a creature dies, you get to go get the cards.
Witch's Oven is great for flavor.
What do you say?
Witch's Oven is great for flavor.
Well, yeah, we do have the little wombo combo.
Yep.
For what it's worth. Not a lot, but for what it's worth, it is worth something.
Just not quite the same in Commander, is it?
Let's see. Type in Kutzel's Flanker.
Do love this card.
I also love me a Kutzel's Flanker. Also, is his name pronounced? It's definitely not pronounced Kutzel. It's probably pronounced some other way.
I don't know. It was from Ixalan, right? I'm not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. It's the dead center.
Kutzel's Flanker. 2 when it enters, choose 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on the flanker. For each creature that left the battlefield this turn, gain 2 life, scry 2, or exile a graveyard. I think that every deck should have a little bit of graveyard hate, incidentally. And this is perfect. Having this incidental graveyard hate is so nice. The card does other things. It has other abilities, but sometimes you just get to blow out somebody's Command the Dreadhorde.
Yeah, or someone's giant board wipe, right? Like if someone trashes a 30-something creature board, then then you get to put, Kutzel's Flanker that has like 4 or 5 counters on it.
Yeah, it's just huge to that.
Yeah.
Like suddenly you're just a threat again. Yeah, I like this card. And what I like about it having a scry 2, gain 2 is this card doesn't put you in the awkward situation, which is that holding up a card like this can be awkward because it's like, oh no, nobody board wiped, nobody did a lot of removal, nobody's doing graveyard stuff. Having the default gain 2, scry 2 makes this card so much better. Of like, all right, no one did anything, I still don't waste my mana.
Yeah, especially when you have almost nothing else on the deck that you're doing at instant speed. Like the cost of holding this card up is enormous.
Yes. Yes. This is all the instants in the deck, and one of them costs nothing.
Yeah, and one of them we're cutting.
And one we would cut, yeah. So, yes, this is not an instant speed deck, so holding up something. It's going to be really obvious when you have Kutzel's Flanker in your hand. What else? I love... Oh, I would cut... I think you just have to cut the equipment cats. I don't... Unless you want to change your deck a ton and add, like, way more equipments, because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. So the equipment cats barely do anything. I just think you have to cut them for other cats. Like, these just aren't good.
Shouldn't... I don't see Arabo. Am I blind? I feel like Arabo should be in here.
Like you said, it probably wasn't updated in the last couple sets.
I think it was Foundations Arabo came from.
Yeah, type it. Rabo, yeah. I thought this was in the deck. I remember looking at this and thinking, hey, yeah, there it is. But no, because I was doing the searches. I wonder, I mean, it must just not be, right? I mean, obviously it's not. I'm looking at the list. I thought I saw Arabo, but yeah, Arabo is an easy ad. This is one of the best cats we have right now.
Sometimes, like we take these lists when they're submitted and we put them in the Commander Countdown Moxfield so they don't change underneath us, but someone else changes the original deck list. So it's possible you looked at something that got updated after we made this copy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But like, yeah, Arabo is the cat that is missing from... If I had to say put only one card in, I would say put in Arabo. It is made for this deck. I also... One last one. Sky... Let's put in Sky Hunter Strike Force. This is another solid cat. I love this card. It has melee itself, which means for each opponent you're attacking gets +1/+1. And then it has Lieutenant. All your creatures have melee. Your commander costs 3. It's going to be on the field all the time. This makes attacking actually viable with your very tiny, small creatures. This card is so dumb. The idea of this card is like...
I've never seen this card.
You've never seen this?
No, that is
it's
phenomenal.
So weird. It's literally just a cow, a cat, and a bird dancing. And they're, for some reason, one card.
Yeah, I don't care what it does. Put it in the deck.
And they separate into a cat, a bird, and a thing.
Sure.
We don't even have synergy with it. That's the funniest part. Like, I don't even think there's an aura in this deck. No, there's no auras. Oh, wait, there's one. We have one.
Okay.
We have this, to be fair, this card's actually very, very good with Lurrus. Like,
Yeah.
Makes sense to be playing it that, but it's very funny. I love this card. I never know where to play it. Sacrifice creature, regenerate a creature. I love it. I don't know where to play it, but I love this card.
Yeah, it feels weird in this one.
Yeah. I mean, this deck was...
I guess you really need to protect Lurrus.
Yeah. This deck was solidly built overall. I mean, your restriction is really rough on you as it is. It's going to make your creatures go from being the average good sacrifice fodder to bad sacrifice fodder. But totally reasonable. I also like that we have 2 mutate creatures.
Yeah.
So technically we can get that value. Even though this card is just bad Lurrus. Which is really funny.
Well, it can bring back Lurrus. That's the big thing, right? Like, if you just let Lurrus die, you can get the value
we
that
can bring
way.
it back with our Necropanther.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just built a new mutate deck, which I am excited to try out. But awesome deck. I think we're moving on.
Okay.
Calvor.
All right, it's time for some foreplay.
No, what's hilarious? He specifically said he needed somebody to say the name of the deck on stream. He wanted it to be NerdGirl, but unfortunately she's not here.
That's why I'm here.
But you did it without any prompting.
I didn't need it.
But this is 4 power matters. Every card, every single card has a 4 in it somewhere. So it mostly cares about 4 power, but some of them are weird. Like I call shenanigans on these. This is cost, and I know you tap a 4 power creature and it costs 1. But I think that these are bull. It's same with this. All these new hybridized cards are bull and they do not fit. And I say cut them because they are cost. And I don't like it.
The restriction is specifically that it has the number 4 written on it.
No,
So
well,
they
it's not.
do.
It's not written for. It cares about 4. It's supposed to care about 4 power.
No, I mean, that's not what's written here.
Well,
There's 4 somewhere in the text box.
well, that's what I wrote. That I also was rereading yesterday to take notes again, and I didn't rewrite it. But it is 4 power matters, which everything cares about 4 power. But I do call shenanigans on these, and you're wrong about your own deck restriction. Take that. Now this
Joe has very strong opinions about foreplay.
Yeah, this deck is cool. What did so I know you're supposed to care about 4 power, but if you want, so what I was thinking is not, for cards I would go with 4 in the text box. I think that's, otherwise I can't change the deck.
Yeah.
So the reason I had to kind of change the restriction to 4 in the text box is the deck had everything. The deck has all the 4 power matters cards. I can't add anything. I can't help you if that's the case. So this deck eats its veggies. I want to say that. Great job. This deck has the good land count, good card draw count, good ramp count, good everything. Great building. I mean, with a restriction like this, to build a deck that follows all the rules, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. But for my ads, I can't add more 4 power stuff. You have it all. I would suggest 4 power or 4s in the text box. It's still, I think it sticks to 4 play. It sticks to the 4 play. So I would add. Why did I say austere command?
I don't know.
That doesn't have 4s in it, does it?
Is it 3 or less or 4 or more?
Type it in. Now I feel like I've just typed in. Now I just feel like I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It has a 4. Yeah. It has a 4 in it. Play austere command. It's a board wipe. Play Sylvan Library, baby. Pay 4 life. 4s. I mean, I like playing powerful cards. Not that Sylvan Library is broken or anything, but in a deck with this kind of restriction, it's like you're restricted. You get the powerful card when the card. It's like if you're playing your all demons. Every card has to care about demons. You get Demonic Tutor. You get it. You just play that card. So put in your Sylvan Libraries. Nature's Claim gains 4 life. Elspeth Sun's Champion actually does care about 4 power.
Yep.
She's a board wipe, and I know she wipes away all your creatures because they all have 4 power. But it fits the theme of the deck. You just, I think one of the biggest notes here is you built a really good deck that went along with the theme, and everything that should be here is here. You built the right deck. Everything is fine. But that said, change it for me.
Yeah, right. The thing it doesn't do is make Joe happy.
The thing to be fair, this deck does make me happy. I actually think this deck is incredibly well built. And is incredibly well built, fits a theme, is silly and strong. It does everything. Like I love the intersection in Magic. Specifically in Commander of silly and strong. I try and meet that intersection. Sometimes I think I go too strong, but that's not the point. But the intersection of silly and strong is exactly where I want to be. You can always just cast Blasphemy. We're going to talk about Blasphemy. I'm reading the chat from like 7 years ago.
Yes. Okay.
All right. No. Do you have any thoughts on this deck? Because honestly, I want to give you a big thumbs up for the build. I went through and the 4 power stuff. You have the 4 power stuff. Like I searched number 4 in text boxes, and I was looking at everything, and everything that I would add, you had. Though I would cut things like this. I think this card sucks. Flame Wake Phoenix is a terrible, terrible Magic card.
Yeah, put Rekindling Phoenix in there.
It does have 4 power.
It does.
Even though it doesn't fit our.
No, but it's my favorite Phoenix.
That's fair. That card was very fun in Standard. I loved me a Rekindling Phoenix. This card's terrible. Yes. Yeah. This card's terrible. Yeah. Don't. I know that you're on a tight restriction, but don't play terrible cards. And this card is terrible. I didn't know this card existed until I was because I just kind of missed it. This card's awesome.
I've seen this card everywhere in the last couple weeks.
Why is that? What have you been seeing?
Just in the last set of deck techs that we did, Dragonhawk was in a bunch of them. Veggies built a bunch of decks that have Dragonhawk in it. It seems to be the flavor of the week.
New hotness.
Mm-hmm.
I do love it. I actually need one for one of my decks. My balls are getting cold.
Yep.
I honestly wish I had more. This is like the first deck where I was like, I kind of wish I had more to say here.
There's just not much, right? Like it's
like
it was kind of pre-built in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do the advanced search. Put in power 4 in text here and see.
I think you can search directly for power, right?
No, yeah,
you're looking for the words power 4.
Yeah, I can like. It's loading very fast. I mean, like, this is just all there. Like, every one of these cards is in the deck that we're looking at. Like, I'm looking at a list of cards. You have them. You did it. You built the deck.
Yeah, or Scryfall built the deck, really, right? Like,
No, you give Skyfall credit, all right? Skyfall gets no credit.
What I'm curious about is where did the theme come from?
My funny number funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, it's this deck. I give you a ton of credit for building this deck. I can't give you a ton of tips because you built it right. Bird Dragon is cool. To be fair, where's Bird Dragon? This is Bird Dragon. It's just a dragon, right? You can say it's a bird. I guess it has feathers, but it's just a dragon.
You mean like, what is it actually? Like, okay.
Yeah, like looking like adding bird onto dragon. Dragons are already kind of birds. Like in a sense, it's just like they're not real. This is just a dragon. It has it's a feathered dragon.
Yeah, I can't actually really even tell what's going on in that art.
Wing.
Tail.
Wing. I think this is head. This is.
I think there's head, but I think behind the head is the tail. I don't know.
No, this is the tail. It's like plumage.
Oh, so he just got like a really big hat on. He's got like this rooster thing going on.
Oh no, this is wing.
Oh, there's 4 wings.
Yes. Wing. I see. Okay. That's not how wings would work. That doesn't make any sense. If you're flapping your wings, you could never flap 3. Like these 2 are up, this one's down, and this one's up. That can't.
Yeah, no, it's like, you know how you see people rowing crew and like one's completely out of sync and they just start going in circles.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what would happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as much as I know insects, and I'm not an insect expert, they flap all their wings at the same time always, as far as I've ever seen and know. So this guy is just going in a circle.
Yeah, it's kind of like that derpy dragon meme, right? With a 3-headed one with the 2 ferocious looking ones, and the one's just like,
oh yeah, I love that. I love that guy. Maybe he's making a left turn. I've never seen a bird with, but insects have 4 wings. So like there is 4 wings being flapped at the same time with insects. Like that is like a dragonfly. Do dragonflies have 4 wings? Am I creating a fake dragonfly that has 4 wings?
I don't know. My experience with dragonflies is limited to the like weird anime that was on when I was a kid. It was called Dragonflies.
Wait, an anime called Dragonflies? I've never heard of that.
Maybe it was a Canada only thing. I doubt it, but maybe.
Me and Veggiewagonyee were talking about Beetleborgs the other day. You're in that chat, aren't you?
If I might have it muted.
I mean, that's fine. I said something and then Veggie made a Rita Repulsa reference in his newest shorts, and I noticed it. I'm like, dang, good Rita Repulsa call. And then he's like, I love Beetleborgs, and then we were talking about Beetleborgs. Which, do you even know what Beetleborgs is?
I have no idea.
It was a Power Ranger ripoff, where there was a weird guy that lived in a mansion, and I found out that mansion has since like burned down. Fun Beetleborgs fact for your deck tech.
Wow, we've man, that conversation was like Dragonhawk was flying it. It just like went in completely other direction.
Yes, big bad Beetleborgs. Yeah, see, we know. Our mod. Okay, that's not a name. I was gonna read your name, but that's not a name. That's just letters. You had your cat run across your keyboard to make your name.
Yeah, that's HD. That's a NerdGirl regular in the chat.
Well, I assume he's a mod. Yeah, but. That's what you call him, HD. I mean, It makes sense. What else would you call him? Dragonflies have 4 wings. Okay, I literally started to think I was making up like a fake dragonfly that had 4 wings. All right, but good deck, good build. Let's move on to Jesus. You're in chat. Jesus.
Well, no, he's not. You fired him.
Oh, I did fire Jesus. Yeah, Jesus was fired. I have to tell you something right now. As cool of a design as Deadpool is, this card is miserable. It is a miserably unfun Magic card, and you can play it. You should play it if it's fun and you want to build it. But the specific build that everyone goes with, and the one that you went with and has Patrick for no reason, literally no reason other than have Patrick, is make a million versions of Deadpool. When you do this, nobody gets to have anything on the battlefield. You remove everything. And nobody plays. This is not this deck. This deck. Just be aware there is no world. I started to build this deck. I thought this would be a fun one for decked out, and I started to build it, and I'm like, oh no, you can't.
It's
Like-
kind of got that possibility storm syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Like, where it seems like it should cause crazy shit to happen, but it's actually just a stacks piece.
Exactly. That is exactly what it's like. It's like it seems like this is like some sort of chaos. Ooh, we're gonna just go wild, but then it's like, oh, it actually this kind of just has enter the battlefield, remove the best creature.
Yep.
It's and then when you blink that over and over again, that's gonna happen. That's fair. I mean, that if you're gonna build the deck, I think you should probably try. If I was gonna make it fun, I'd go a different route. But your deck is the million Deadpool deck. That is what you want, and that is what we're gonna help you with. Your land count is low, as you know. I gotta talk about Veggie. First thing, you didn't even make a mana base. You.
This is phoning it in. Yeah.
You phoned it in, and not only did you phone it in, you phoned it in with why these two? Like Command Tower is the first land I put in. Sure, this isn't the second land I put in.
Yep.
Like, why did this one make it, Jesus? I knew what I wanted to do with it. Cause people pain, and that's fine. Acknowledging the pain is fair. I think that the theme of Deadpool is trolling your opponent, which is why they included Patrick. Yes, I agree. I think so too. But also, this isn't troll. This is strong. Like I know that we get the feel of troll because he's switching text boxes. Like that's a trolly thing. This is just good. This card is just very, very strong and good. And though it feels troll, it's really good.
Yep.
Well, if you read the notes, I sent it to Stress and Lance. I did read the notes, but that doesn't mean I didn't put it down on my notes, that part. And I am going to stress on the Lance because you cheated. You cheated on your test, and I'm going to give you some hate for that. You need a couple ramp spells, plus 2 ramp spells, plus 4 draw spells. Yeah, whatever you want. There's not really anything super synergistic that you want to add. I would personally add like a Yawgmoth Thran Physician, because most of these tokens here sacrifice themselves, so they have a way to sacrifice them to get an advantage. Like a Yawgmoth Thran Physician is a perfect way to go for your draw. All right, cuts. I think we can cut Dark Ritual. I don't think this deck is so powerful that we need to be playing our commander on turn 2 or doing anything silly. This deck is still going to be, I think, a 3. I mean, that's definitely where we're at. We have 3. What are these? Game changers. Well, technically we have 4 game changers, but I think Deflecting Spot was just added, so that wasn't before, if I remember correctly. Don't push this to a 4 yet. Keep this in the 3, so cut one of these game changers. You don't want this deck to be a 4. I don't think it's powerful enough for 4. I think 3 is the spot.
Yeah. Jessica's will be gone.
Jessica's will, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I would do. I think, yeah, that's fine. Cut whatever one you want. I'd probably cut Deflecting Swap, but in fact, I don't know which one's better. They're all good. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Where is this? This is not a playable commander card. Dude, this is an easy cut for any other removal spell.
Yeah, there's no poison anywhere in the deck, right?
No, this is not a poison deck, yeah. Why is this here, Jesus? Tell us. God, it's so slow. He's really holding up the stream today.
Yeah. That's why he's fired.
That's why Jesus is fired.
Efficient exile creature removal. If it were like Brawl, or like a 1v1 format, I'd be in. I just feel like the restriction to hit something mana value 3 or less is so... It's a real restriction.
Yeah. I'm really on that this isn't playable. You have Baleful Mastery and you have Deadly Relic. I think you've covered your exile removal now. I think it's already fine. And I don't think you need another one. Like this costs 2 mana. This costs 0 mana. You've got it covered. Weirdly, I actually kind of like Deadly Disputes in this deck, as much as I'm not a huge fan of it overall. You just make a ton of stupid copies of Deadpool that need to be sacrificed, or you need to do something with them, so it just ends up working. I do like that you went with the Master multiplied so that you can do the 20 Deadpool thing.
Yeah.
you're in this is a 3. Why not just go for the infinites? So you've got your molten duplications, you've got your twin flames. Just I just put in Dualcaster Mage. Just do it. Just do the combos. I think that this is a 3. If you don't want combos, that's also perfectly fair. To not want to combo with this deck. Me personally, when I'm pushing, this deck is already going to be a strong, powerful deck that won't necessarily fit in the super fun range. So I would just add the Dualcaster Mage, because Dualcaster Mage and any one of these molten duplications or twin flame goes infinite and kills all your opponents.
Hey, famous Andrew, we're doing deck techs for patrons of Decked Out. So if you want to get in on next month's, we do this every month. You can head on over to the Patreon and sign up.
Yes, yeah. Patreon is where you do that. My other ads. Ooh, this one is actually a veggie ad. Giggling. If you would
Yeah.
Would you pass me water? Thank you, Ken, sir. So Veggie loves this card, and it is. I actually got this idea from his short. This is your own creature that you want to switch Deadpool with, because whenever he attacks or blocks or becomes the target of a spell for some ungodly reason of those 3 things, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Now you'll be stuck with a crappy Deadpool Skitter Spike, but Deadpool has 5 power, so he's automatically dealing 5 every single time. Plus, when he monstrosities, now he has 10 power.
Yeah. Plus, you can target it yourself.
Yeah, you can target. Oh, this card is good. In like the weaknesses, it starts at 1 power. Not if you just switch with Deadpool. It don't matter. Yeah, this card is awesome. I have another good ad. Murderous Redcap. This is one of my favorite ads too. This is another card that you can switch with your own things. Murderous Redcap enters and deals damage equal to its power and has persist. So we're gonna enter, deal 5, and then when it dies, he's gonna come back with a -1 counter as a new creature. So this card works perfectly. It gives Deadpool an extra life. It makes him a second removal spell on top. Well, I guess he's only 1 because he's switching with your creature. So he'll come back with a -1/-1 counter on it. And then one of my favorite things about this little interaction is he's coming back. He gets to steal a new text box.
Yes.
When he comes back every single time. There's actually, if you add in with sack outlets and an undying. No, wait, it doesn't work. Never mind. I went through this. I just did this. You guys just saw me do the same thought process I did earlier, and then realized it doesn't work again. The combo.
I was thinking like Yawgmoth Thran Physician or something like that. Just like the classic persist infinite loop combo guy.
He's undying.
Yeah.
But not persist. But yes, yeah. I mean, I did suggest putting that in. So if you put an undying, you can go pretty ham with that. Another thing that cares about power: 3-fold Hulk. I've weirdly been adding this to like 3 or 4 decks recently because it's just has weird synergy. When it enters the battlefield with 3/1 counter, so it's a 3/3 for 1. Whenever it enters or attacks, you make a number of colors equal to its power. And then you can sacrifice an artifact to put a counter on it. But Deadpool has 5 power. He'll enter with 3 extra counters because he enters as, and you will get 8 1/1s when Deadpool enters, which is awesome. And then whenever he attacks, you also will get 8 1/1s. So another just cares about your own power. You could also put any creature in your deck that has Myriad. So when Deadpool gains Myriad, he makes clones of himself. So he will take the Myriad off of your creature, and then when he attacks, he won't make clones with Myriad. He'll make clones that steal text boxes. So that's another very strong, like, of your own creature thing that you can do. Why did I... Humble Defector. I forgot why I put this in here.
Me too. I'm trying to figure that out.
I'm gonna figure it out. Hold on. There's a reason for this. Humble Defector, why are you here? Oh, I know why Humble Defector is here, because I had a really cool synergy with this. All of these copy spells can make Humble Defectors that you tap, give away, and then are sacrificed. So you just give. So you make Humble Defectors with all of your cards like this, and then you tap your Humble Defectors to draw cards. Your opponents get them. Too bad, it's gone. It's completely gone. Oh, I love it. It's such a cool little synergy.
Doesn't work with Myriad, unfortunately, because they come in tapped and
It doesn't. It doesn't work with the Myriad. We don't even. But there's no way to give it Myriad unless there's. So there is Blade of South, like so you can't really do that. But any of the other ones, like any like Lava Brink, Jaxus, the Lena, make your Humble Defectors, give them away, and then they're gone. I love it. I love it so much.
There was like a weird interaction that came up recently between Deadpool and you can't put it in the deck obviously, but the Kaido card that's a Planeswalker, but a creature on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly what the interaction was, but I remember thinking it was really cool. Keep going, I'll look it up.
Oh, to speak on Patrick Star, I put him in so just can have a flavor text. It's true. He does steal the text box. That's a good. And Patrick's flavor text, if you don't know, is I don't get it.
Yeah, I was sure that's why it was there. Yeah,
that's very funny. I mean, just be like you said. You're gonna make people miserable with this deck, Jesus. You know it, and that's fine. You're allowed to make people miserable with your deck. I support it, kind of. But yeah, your friends will hate you. Your enemies will hate you more. Yeah, adding in like stuff like Yawgmoth, ways to sacrifice creatures. Morbid Opportunist is another good card draw thing to add because most of these tokens sacrifice themselves, and when they sacrifice themselves, you'll draw off your Morbid Opportunist. It's a nice draw. Oh, why is Seize the Spoils here? I don't really get it. This isn't these cards pillage. These cards don't seem good in this deck. Probably easy cuts. Don't check. What's this?
I'm trying to come up with something, and I can't.
I was just wondering what your head bop was about.
That's what I do when I'm like
we already
when
hate
I think
Jesus.
I must be missing something.
I mean I guess if you can't hate Jesus anymore, this is a good deck to choose, right?
Yeah.
If you can't be hated anymore, then just because I think the black
couldn't think of black card draw. Okay.
I also, yeah, this card's bad. Don't play Risky Shortcut. Risky Shortcut's bad. Though I did just build a deck that had Risky Shortcut in it. But
Yeah, I mean,
you need way more synergy than just draw two. Yeah, you need better card draw. And I think drawing off of creatures dying, you could add what is the three black Dark Prophecy, draw whenever a creature dies.
Mm-hmm.
You can add that to the deck too. It's just another card draw because it counts. That most of those things don't count tokens, but that one does. So it works with the strategy you're going with here. I mean, most overall sweet deck. I like sawing in half your Deadpool too. I'm just gonna speak about this little art here because I hate this art because there's no blood, like at all. He is being sawed in half.
yeah, but is there blood when Deadpool blows up in the movies?
Yes.
Okay.
He definitely, yeah. Like there is blood. Like they make a joke about how the fact his suit is red because he bleeds so much. So
Is that it? Okay.
There's a joke about that in the movies, but he is being sawed in half. Like there's like looks like there might be a little blood, but on the saw blade, like the tiniest bit. But like, come on, like Magic cards. Like have you ever?
No, that's quite a bit. Honestly, that's a very big saw blade, and it's pretty much coated in red.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Coated.
Yeah, look at that. Like,
it's like a tiny little bit of red.
I don't know. There's a lot of red around his waist.
What? No, you're insane. There's like no red.
If you say so.
Chat, is there a red or is there no red? Oh, he's got a magician's hat on, so it's a trick. Well, no, he doesn't have it on, so
I see. He's not actually being sawed in half.
it's a fake saw in half. What is up here in this art? What is that? Like, oh, what is this?
Balloons?
Maybe, yeah.
I guess like a party trick.
I wear red so bad guys can't see me beads. It looks like this guy should have worn brown pants. Ha. Ugh. Deadpool's cringy.
I love Deadpool.
I do too. That doesn't mean it when you. I think what makes me the thing that has made me slightly like Deadpool less is they made She-Hulk, which basically was a Deadpool but more for a female audience, and the hate it got made me go, "You guys suck."
I didn't actually see She-Hulk, so I'll take your
I
word
mean,
for it.
it's not. I don't like it. I didn't really like the show, but it really is just Deadpool for a female audience.
Okay.
And it is cringy too. Like, I don't like it. It's cringy, but Deadpool's just as cringy. And I do enjoy Deadpool, but I just like, it just made me go, you guys suck. Just stop hating on this show. It's fine. It's cringy as hell, but so is Deadpool. All right, next deck. We have Zan's, Yoshatla Knight's Blast. No, what's funny? This is a deck, so this card, Risky Shortcut, actually fits. Because it costs 3 or more, triggers this, that your opponents lose 2 life, triggers the end step trigger as well. So Risky Shortcut actually works in this deck. As much as I don't like that card, this has a weird random synergy in it.
I like weird random synergies.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's the most fun, right? It's the weird random synergies. But you can't play it in this deck. Do you know why?
Color identity? No, not color identity.
No, this is a Universes Beyond deck.
Ah.
Yes, this deck is all Universes Beyond, which cool. Did you know that they have there is an alternate print of this that you can get?
Of the counterspell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with the warped text. Yeah.
It is, yeah, it's what's every other letter is like capitalized, like, yeah. It's worth like $700.
Yeah.
It's insane. There's also a bonus Mr. Krabs smothering tag.
Yep.
Like
with him like sleeping on the pile of money.
Like $1,400. Crazy. All right, for your vegetables, you did a great job. I love you. Somehow, some of the best decks for the vegetables of the card draw, ramp, and removal were the restrictive decks with the biggest restriction, which.
Well, because you have less options, right? Like, the reason people trim on lands and rocks and all that stuff is because they want to put other cool stuff in. But if you're restricted from putting cool stuff in, then you might as well.
The Secret Lair. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say Secret Lair? I meant Universes Beyond. I apologize. This is a Universes Beyond deck.
What makes this a Ship of Theseus? I assume it's a deck that they've had for a long time, and everything has gotten swapped out at one point or another.
My Universes Beyond card is initial version was a little.
Yeah, that's what it said. The only one card remains from the original.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, also, what makes the Ship of Theseus? Do you know the Ship of Theseus? There's only one real thing that it could be, right?
Yeah.
Turns out my husband just doesn't know what a Ship of Theseus is. What an idiot. All right. First thing, I love this commander. She is such a cool.
By the way, you can sleep on our couch tonight. It's fine.
He would never. He loves me. I'm just eating French fries. You got French fries without me? Wow.
Maybe he's sleeping on the couch.
Bastard. Okay, Zans. Yep. Oh yeah. The only thing is I would add a couple more lands to this deck. You only have 36 lands. Just go up to 38. I think it's pretty safe thing to do. So okay, cuts. Eagle Vision. Where's Eagle Vision? What's it? Sorcery? This card's we do not have access to an assassin.
It counts commander too, right?
Oh,
if your commander hits, yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait. I misread this card. Whenever you cast a spell. No, combat damage. It's combat damage. Our commander sucks at attacking. Yeah. We don't want this card. Our commander does not attack well. This card does not work in this deck. That's right. Count Lore and Reveal as a land. Oh, that's fair. Lore and Revealed is a land. Okay, so the land count actually. So yeah, your vegetables are just good then. I didn't actually see. I forgot Lore and Reveal was here. Good call. That is a land. I would count that as a land as well. It's just a tap land. For some reason, like my eyes aren't working right. Where's this Prince guy? I don't know what this card's doing here. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1. What do these 1/1s do for us? Not much. I mean, I guess they're chump blockers. And you do draw second cards a decent amount with our commander, but it doesn't seem to fit our deck very well. Like, I'm not a fan of it. I think it's an easy cut. What the heck is Great Unclean One? I don't. Oh, here we go. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then, for each opponent who has lost life, you create a one. Okay,
with less life than you.
Yeah, with less life than you. So the problem with this card, one, I don't think the token synergy doesn't matter. I like same thing with Prince. I just don't think it's very good in the deck. But also, if your opponents have lost only 2 life, at the beginning of event step, for each opponent lost 2 life. Each one was this card. It's the same thing. This is the 5-mana version of this, and I don't think it works either. You felt you needed chumps. That's fair. And if you come into, I would say, when you're playing the deck, Zand, if that's the case, then leave them. If you feel like those chumps are super important, I would leave them. I feel like the reason you don't need chumps that much, this card gains life. You don't need to be chumping as much if every spell you're casting gains you a 2 life. So I think that is strong enough to warrant not needing the chumps.
Yeah, it's a struggle because of the restriction. There are a lot of cards that I know have secret layer printings, but they're not technically Universes Beyond. So I keep thinking, like Elspeth, Sun's Nemesis would be very good in here. Mm-hmm. But no, or Sun's Champion rather would fit well, but that's not Universes Beyond.
I ruined your mind by saying secret layer.
Yeah.
When I take a bite of the sub, you're supposed to keep talking for the entertainment.
No. This is the entertainment. Is stopping so that everyone watches you eating the sub.
You're the worst. I found them making 3/1/3. Sure. So I would say this one's better then. The ability to make 3 is definitely stronger than this. I would cut this for sure. 1 token a turn is just kind of meh. And you're not going to really draw 2 cards outside of your turn. Most turns. Where's Etherize? I hate that card.
Oh, yeah. That's the card I'm thinking of from Foundations?
No.
Yeah. It was from Foundations.
Oh, that's right. It was from Foundations. I think this card sucks. It is a blowout sometimes. You get somebody sometimes. I really don't like playing this. I don't like holding it up. I think I'm genuinely just very, very low on Etherize. Also, Darkness, I hate fogs, but they're both playable cards. I would not include them in my decks. I think they're cuts. I think they are cuts. Oh yeah, you have to please, for the love of God, cut Saruman's Trickery. This card is terrible. I know you want to.
It's just cancel.
I know you like counter spells and you want to have a counter spell too, but this is so bad. And you have Swan Song, Arcane Denial, Counterspell, Reverse Polarity, all better cards. Cut the Sarumans. It's so bad.
All of those have Universes Beyond printings, right?
They're over here. Oh,
okay, yeah. Then I guess they do.
Yeah. I was literally just reading cards and Mana Confluence, like just another one right here. What's this? Oh, another one. It's Rewind. I also this weird football goblin thing. I don't know what that thing is. I don't know much about. I
assume it's some Hey Arnold thing.
It's Warhammer. It's not Hey Arnold. You're an idiot.
Yes.
For some reason, I wrote
Darkness.
Yeah, I wrote Darkness. I write it how I have it so they can see how I have it written. Yeah, as like it's like the dark version of Ness in
Nintendo.
Yeah, the Nintendo character Ness. Yeah, Dark Ness. Rewind is from the Blood Bowl. Yeah, I knew it was Warhammer, like their football thing, but I didn't know what it was actually called. Also, imagine playing with a spiked football. Oof. Like
there's more thing, right? You spike a football, right?
Look at that. There's more blood on this card than there was on.
I assume Deadpool had it in his lap while he was getting sawed in half. I had to stop talking because you were eating.
I know. Yeah. God forbid you keep him entertained.
Nope. Look, no one brought me in here for entertainment value.
All right. So I had to do Universes Beyond search to get some cards to put in this deck. And I found quite a few that you actually don't have. For some ramp, Fellow Stone. Simple.
Oh, I don't need to put in Felwar Stone, right? Like we know.
Yeah, wait, what am I saying? Yeah. There's another super staple. Swords to Plowshares has printings I believe it has a Warhammer print. I don't remember which one. It has a tank. There's like a tank printing where it has like the tank is now. Put it in. We're gonna switch to printing. I need to see it now. I can't. Switch printing. Okay, first thing. That's adorable.
That is, yeah.
What the heck is that? That's amazing. I've never seen that one. It's like a little duck man.
That's fantastic.
Apparently, I need that one. Okay, seriously, there's so many. Okay, well, there's a Fallout one right here. But that wasn't even the one I was thinking of. There's one with a tank. Doctor Who. Okay, there's a million of these.
I mean, yeah, because it's in every set of precons. So.
Okay, Tales of Middle-earth. Where is the goddamn tank one? Dude, I'm going fucking bananas. There it is. I found it. I knew there was a dang tank. I'm not crazy. Warhammer 40k. Yeah, the tank is 40k. Thank you. All right, we found it. But, yep, that's another ad for this deck. I've mentioned this before. You're on a tight restriction. Play the best cards. Don't hold yourself back on this restriction. You've already restricted yourself a ton. So play the best cards you can in this set. Let's see. I'd play Mithril Coat. Mithril Coat, I'm not a big fan of Mithril Coat as a whole, but our commander needs protection and it triggers our commander. So I think both of those are reason to play. Like I wouldn't play like Swiftfoot Boots or anything, but Mithril Coat specifically triggering our commander works.
Yeah, and acting at instant speed. Like, your deck does want to hold up a mana sometimes.
Let's see. For some more mana fixing, because you have a lot of basics, the temples are, the Scry temples are in Universes Beyond. I don't remember which set, but when I was looking them up, that's 3 more lands to add just to make your mana.
Doctor Who had temples.
Yeah, make your mana a little bit smoother. There's not, like you have most of the lands you should be playing. But specifically the temples.
So they're saying that the 1 CMC, I assume Swords to Plowshare, doesn't trigger the commander. But I feel like it's a good enough card that you just don't need it to trigger your commander.
I mean, you use darkness, you use this, you use this. But we're not going to cut all these cards, right? Not everything needs to trigger our commander. Specifically, some cards are so good they go beyond needing a synergy. I mean, we can just, if I want to go 1-for-1 cut, I'll throw darkness out the window and get a thing. Or I don't like this card either. This card's weird. This card's such a weird card. I just like it because it has Newman's face on it.
Yeah.
Forever and always, that guy will always be Newman.
Yep.
He is I don't know his character's name in this movie.
Nedry.
Oh, okay. I didn't even remember the Jurassic Park name. Like that wasn't there for me. Well, you can cut Crypt Incursion. This card's pretty weak, but totally fine. It's very cuttable. Let's see. There's Farewell and Supreme Verdict if you want other board wipes. You don't necessarily need Farewell. No one likes that, but Supreme Verdict should probably be in here as a nice board wipe. This deck is going to want to. This deck's just going to want to clean up the board a decent amount of times because you don't have, like you said, you don't have a lot of creatures. And though you can make chump blockers from time to time, that's not always going to hold up. Oh yeah, I know it's a game changer now, but Field of the Dead should be in here. There's a Universes Beyond Field of the Dead. So you should play Field of the Dead.
Where are we at for game changers?
I think, do we have any? I guess there's one, but it's new. So are you planning on cutting the game changers? Zand, or are you planning on keeping it? If you're keeping it, I would put in Field of the Dead. And also, when I was suggesting Field of the Dead and put it on my list, it was not a game changer. And it shouldn't be a game changer. Sticking to that forever.
They might cut them.
They might cut them? Well, I didn't say anything.
The very bottom.
Where?
Right there.
Oh my god. My eyes just stopped working. Holy crap. I see it now.
Yes.
It's right there. Bowmasters and Notion Thief. Yes.
Oh, Notion Thief's a game changer now?
Yes, it was just made one.
Huh.
They did Notion Thief. there was the Bowmaster because they went together, and then one Narset. The three like
that make it feel bad to draw cards.
yeah,
Sure.
exactly. Those three were all put together. Yeah, if you're gonna cut them, then don't add Field of Dead. If you're not gonna cut them, add Field of Dead. Up to you. Completely up to you. Well, that was another card. This is a great ad. When I saw this is like the perfect card. Copies your commander, triggers your commander, and now now that you have two commanders, any spell will make them lose 4 and draw you 2 on your end step. Perfect. It's so strong in this deck. Blind Obedience. Oh yeah, blind. Let's put it blind. I think you know what Blindo does. It doesn't really matter what it does. It really matters. Like it has a strong ability of obviously preventing your opponents from any of those artifacts and creatures from entering untapped. But it has Extort, and this is the best card with Extort. And there was a, let's see, let's look at the printings. This one can't have as many printings as the last one. Where is it? Wasn't there? There's Universes Beyond. Is this universe? What is this? Where'd it go?
Top left. That looks like Warhammer to me.
I think this is something. I'm pretty sure this Blind Obedience is Universes Beyond. Yeah. I was almost positive because I put it on the list. And my search.
He's saying, is there a UB Blind Obedience?
God damn it. It's a Warhammer Fantasy printing. Yeah, see.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this card's perfect. Extort is just good in this deck, but this is the best Extort card. And casting any spell, draining will be not quite 4 yet. But if you do, you need to Extort twice. But like this adds to the life loss to go on top of our commander, which to get us to 4, which is where we want to be. But yeah, overall, when you put your restrictions like this, just like the 4 power deck from earlier, you built a good deck. The deck is where it needs to be mostly. I just make a couple small changes. Power up your deck. I might even put in Farewell, just because when you're on such a tight restriction, I think playing an unfun card or 2 is totally fair. It's like, guys, you have a card pool of what? What's Magic at now?
Oh, I don't know.
30,000 cards.
I think that's low, but yeah.
But you guys have a card pool of 30,000. I have a card pool of like 2,500. It's like I think it's fair that I play some of the best cards for me. So I think it's fair to include your best cards. It dropped a bit though. Oh, it's a secret layer you don't have. Oh, okay, that's completely fair. Isn't Notion Thief a game changer? Yes. And I totally was reading chat the whole time and didn't just see that now. Don't worry. All right, next. Oh, we are back to Joe territory. Absolute love.
It's kind of crazy that we ended up with 2 of these.
Yeah, we're stompy, baby. This is Eshki, Teamer's Roar, submitted by Oshokins? Is that
Oh, so shocking is how I would say that.
Oh so shocking. I apologize for the butchering of your username. Also shocking. Eshki's Teamer deck, and this one is whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. If the spell has a power 4 or greater, draw a card. If it has power 6 or greater, deal damage equal to Eshki's power to each opponent. This is so strong, and it is Stompy. And if you don't know, Stompy is my bread and butter. This deck was pretty good on its vegetables. The lands, card draw, almost everything is here. You're just missing a couple removal spells. A Chaos Warp can be in here. A Bonecrusher Giant. I love Bonecrusher Giant has power 4 or greater as well. So we're going to get to draw a card off of the creature side, put a +1 counter, plus it's just a little removal spell for something small in the field. Perfect.
And it punches through fog.
It does punch through darkness,
Yeah.
which we've seen in a deck. Osokins.
Wow, that deck got worse somehow.
Oshokins. Osokins.
I was going to say it 5 times fast, but you can't say it 1 time slow. Like,
Oh, Nerd Girl. Don't make us look dumb. Or me. Don't make me look dumb. Why am I scrolling? I was scrolling on the other screen. All right. Great job on that. For cuts, let's see. All right. We're going to get to one of my pet peeves for Commander. Green decks do not need Artifact Ramp. They don't. So Arcane Signet is just a no-no for me. It is straight up, do not put this in your green deck. Put in any other version of Farseek Nature's Lore, 3 Visits, Rampant Growth. Every one of these I think is better. And I know Arcane Signet coming in untapped makes the mana right away, so there is an upside to that. But we've all had all of our artifacts blown up and destroyed. You know the downside of playing these. I think it's higher than just searching up a land. So 100% cut. Though, funnily enough, we do play one artifact ramp because I think this card is great. Like, have you seen this new card?
I've seen that it is being used in Standard, but I haven't actually like played with it yet.
So it is a 2-mana ramp spell that for creatures you make mana, but power creature, if you target a creature with power 4 or greater, give it trample, and when it hits you, draw a card. So this becomes a card advantage engine and a ramp spell covering 2 bases. Card's incredible. I absolutely love this card. Let's see. Oh yeah. Speaking of artifacts, why is this? I'm not really sure why we're playing this. I don't think this card's very good.
It's probably a meta game call, I would think. Like, if you're always up against someone who's playing blue control and you're sick of getting your Atali countered, then...
Yeah, so my first thought when I see this is, it can be countered. So, no, if someone is holding up counter spells and your issue is you're dealing with a lot of counter spells, this is getting countered because it has to get countered. Like, there's not really, like, the counter spell player just has to be like, you've given me no choice. This is what I have to counter now. So I think this card is just genuinely pretty bad. And I know at the beginning when I said you discover 5, so you're always getting something, but...
It's board wipe protection as well. Like, if you dump your hand to the board and it gets wiped, then you know that you're at least going to start to regrow.
That's fair. I'm pretty low on it. I'd cut it, but Airball will keep it because Airball is a monster.
No, I don't think I would keep it either, honestly. To me, it's like a much worse Prismatic Bridge. But
I find it very funny when you're like the, let me be devil's advocate. No. But still cut it.
Look, that's the engineer in me. Like, oh, someone did this. There's probably a reason that I don't see. Let's figure it out. Oh, we figured it out. I still don't like it.
Yeah. That is completely fair. You can cut Snakeskin Veil. I think this card is just not very good. There's few and far between decks that want this card, and I don't think this is one of them. So just easy cut for me. I also think this card's bad. Decisive Denial. This is a fun card, so if you just want it because it's fun, I'd keep it. But both of its modes are not strong enough for Commander in general. I would either play just a counter spell, and fight spells are bad. So in general, you just don't play any fight spells in Commander. So
unless we have a bunch of cards in here that care about being dealt damage or dealing damage.
Yeah, there is fight spells you need synergy for. Yeah, that's a good point. And this one just is whatever. Wait, what's imaginary pet?
Top right there.
You got fast eyeballs. Oh yeah, at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have a card in hand, return imaginary. So I get it. I understand here. 2 mana, put a counter on her, draw a card. I don't think that's good enough. I think personally I wouldn't play it. What do you think?
Well, do we have a lot of payoffs for 4 power? Like casting 4 power things?
I mean, the deck does have 4 power stuff. There is stuff like this. Creature power forwarder, draw a card. There is draw a card. So maybe you think there's enough synergies?
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know.
Well, this deck does have a lot of 4 power stuff. Volpone Tyrant. Let's see. This card doesn't care.
Because it's effectively a guarantee that you're always going to be able to trigger your commander plus whatever other 4 power effects you have in play every turn.
Okay.
And the fail state is you have a 4/4 for 2. So I think with enough synergy, it's quite good. I don't think I see enough synergy to do that.
To justify it. There's some other stuff down here because there's this. Yeah, all these three all trigger off of it.
My intuition is that it's probably not good enough for the deck, but I am not 100% on that. I would want to play with it.
Yeah, that was also when I saw it, my first thought was, I don't think it's good enough for the deck. So I'm uncut, but it is open. Speaking of this is a 4-power deck. Dragon, Hawk, Fate's Tempest.
It's back.
I know that. I mean, if you're playing a deck like this that cares about 4 power,
get the dragon that can't fly.
Get the fly. It can't. It technically can fly according to the card's flavor. But yeah, I mean, this thing is just. What does this thing actually read? I actually have to read it. Whenever I know it attacks top X cards, creatures. Yep, creature power 4 or greater. You get that many cards. You can play those cards until the end of your turn, and then it deals 2 to each. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
This card is good.
Imagine if Chandra Torch of Defiance was much, much, much better.
Wow. Like, this card is great. I need this card for my Maelstrom Wanderer deck. This card's right. Like this card's amazing. It fits perfectly on the theme of the deck, which is big, giant, stompy creatures. Easy include. Should absolutely be in the deck. I love that you're playing a Tali. That's one of my favorite creatures of all time. Chaos Dragon. Yeah, let's take that one in. So Chaos Dragon, I think fits the role of Imaginary Friend better. It does cost 1 more mana, but this is a flying haste, but the thing is, it attacks randomly, so you kind of just use that. But that's fine because you get your trigger, you draw a card, it replaces itself immediately, and now you just have 4 damage going to a random opponent. And who cares where it goes? It doesn't really matter.
It's almost better that you can't control it because then your opponents can't be like, "Oh, why'd you attack me? You should have attacked so and so."
Yeah. Enduring Curiosity.
What a card.
Isn't it? What a card. Because on top of this being, whenever your creatures hit, draw a card, this stupid thing has 4 power. I don't know why this thing has 4 power. It is a little cat. But this thing, for some ungodly reason, they just made this thing have 4 power.
Yep, and if it gets killed, it comes right back.
Yes. So you cast it, you get a trigger, you draw a card, all of your damage dealing now draws you cards, and then it dies, and then it comes back, and now you keep drawing cards. Card's absurd. Card is actually stupid. And it has 4 power, which is super important. I mean, if you want a non-budget card, Terror of the Peaks. I mean, we're a deck that's casting big giant creatures. Terror of the Peaks is absolute include. Scythe Claw Raptor.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely one that we want.
I can't remember what this one does off the top of my head.
If anyone casts a spell that isn't their turn, it domes it for 4.
Oh yes, so it's just another 3 mana. The thing is, these cards are like just okay, right? Like these are cards like you consider they're just okay, but like preventing people from interacting, especially because we're not a huge we have 10 instants, that's fine, but we're not a huge instant speed deck. Is going to be big for us because we're the big stompy deck that's going to go big and just start swinging. And then we have, we drew a card off of this. The fact that this is going to draw us a card is stupid. Makes it so good. Once upon a time, we had to do I know. Isn't it crazy? Coastal Piracy unplayable. Like, actually unplayable because we have so many versions of it now that are better. Like
it's like Laureate's Anthem, right? Like, it just used to be everywhere and now totally unplayable.
I remember when they printed the Cycling One Reconnaissance mission. I was like, wow, this card's great. It's strictly better Coastal Piracy. Now it's just like we're 7 steps from that now. And we're just like, oh, well, I guess not. And one last card, Sun Spine.
Do not like this card, Sam. I am.
Why don't
Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
Where are you? Why don't you like this card?
Because it's in all the aggro red decks right now.
Oh, fair. Players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented. So, nice darkness you got there. Mm-hmm. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to each player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. This is good. This card is real strong. It is a burn card, and I think that this is one that you can just throw in Commander. Nobody's playing basics unless they're playing 1 color or 2 color decks. This thing is wildly strong. I'm a big like. I think that this is
Unless you're Jesus, and then you're running, 20 swamps, 20 mountains, and a command tower.
Yeah. Wait, he was playing. It was 16 mountains, 16 swamps, a command tower, and
A Verge. The black
red
yeah.
verge. Oh Jesus! You know what's
That anti-Sunspine Links tech.
You know what's funny? I had to connect in my head. I thought you just said Jesus at first, and so like I'm just letting you finish your sentence. I'm like, where's this going?
Yeah.
Unless you're Jesus, I thought my thought process was, okay, unless you're Jesus, so he must be. What he must be saying here is like very lucky. So I don't know what else he could mean.
No, just call back to the joke we made 2 hours ago.
Yeah, obviously. This is how I would build this mana base. This is perfect. Other than I would put in the deleted halfling. Throw that one in there.
Yeah.
Or not your mana base, your dorks. This is perfect. I don't know. I probably wouldn't. Actually, hold on. How many blue cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 blue cards in the deck. Yeah, no, it's probably fine to keep.
Yeah, no, I think that's a snapping.
I think if you had like 10 or 10 to 10 and up is when I would start cutting this, like because it's not reducing those blue cards. But yeah, this deck is great. This deck is these are the kind of decks I love playing. This card's incredible too. I need this card too for my Stompy deck. Like, why is it each creature? Like, it's like reduces once and then twice and then 3 times. All of a sudden you're casting your Maelstrom Wanderer, which I didn't even know was here. I love this card. For Teamer.
Yep.
Ugh, gross. All right. Well, I think that's. Do you have anything to say about this deck?
No, I mean, I think it does exactly what the commander wants to do.
No, it's a well built deck. This is another. We've had a lot of well built decks today. This is another very well built deck that is just you're gonna crush and you're gonna do the big stompy thing. This card's so. I don't know if this card's good. I want to test this card. I remember when I was looking at this deck, I'm like, is that playable? I don't know. It's like, because on one side it's just stats, but it also has a cycling ability. Like, if it was 5 mana 8/8, it would be unplayable, right? But is adding that cycling ability making it a playable card?
No.
No? You think it's
3 mana is way too much.
That's fair. So, cut your Aganosaur. What a weird name. Aganosaur, yeah. That's sure. Aganosaur Rex. This is a fun card. This is a fun synergy for the deck because she starts throwing out damage equal to a power, and this is just like, yeah, why don't you just throw that damage wherever? Plus, it gets reduced by her cost, right? Because this is non-combat damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is worth $4. I would have thought this was a bulk rare, like for sure.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like a bulk rare.
I think it was when it was printed, and then Commander happened.
Let's view printings. Maybe it's just this version. No, it's not just this version. They're all worth money. All right. Good deck. I want to play this card. I might put this card in my Maelstrom Wanderer deck. I feel like are we going too fast? Am I going too fast?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
been at this for 3 hours. We've covered 11 decks, so that's about 20 minutes a deck, a little more.
All right. Is Jesus free animator? I mean, me and my friend have had a conversation about this. Jesus is a lich. By definition of like lich and like fantasy, Jesus fits the lich vibes and the lich feel. You know Jesus was a lich?
No, you know what? It didn't come up in Sunday school.
All right. We are on to Daddy Magic, which Big Daddy Magic.
Yeah, not just any Daddy Magic.
What's funny is there's a wrestler who has a nickname Daddy Magic. I don't know. It probably has nothing to do with his name. He probably had it way before that, but
maybe it's the same person.
You think this is Daddy Magic?
Well, I've met the person, but I've never seen the wrestler, so I assume there's a chance.
That would be the coolest thing ever, but also very unlikely. You've met Daddy Magic, you haven't met Daddy Magic. No, you've met Big Daddy Magic, you haven't met Daddy Magic.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they're the same person, though.
All right, so this is an Atraxa deck, and this is a pretty standard Atraxa deck, +1/+1 counters. One thing that was stated about this deck is it must have an infinite combo. So what infinite combo is put in our Atraxa deck, which if you guys don't know Atraxa, proliferates at the end step. That's all that matters. We have, where's our combo? We have Heliod, Walking Ballista, a classic combo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's play group. My first thought when I was working on this deck is to cut this. But if you need it for your play group, that's fair.
We've had a number of submissions from Big Daddy Magic in the past, and they've all been pretty up there in power level.
Okay, so yeah, this is totally fine to leave in, but it's just like my first thought was cut this. The only vegetables out of the card draw, ramp, and removal that you're missing is you just need more card draw. This deck only has about 5 card draw spells, so add 4, 5 more. Something like a Guardian Project, draw whenever you cast a creature. Oh yeah, this one.
Which one?
Hollow Mark. This is a new card. What did I spell it wrong? Maybe it's the other Hollow.
Oh, Hollow Mark, maybe. Oops. What have I done?
What have I done? Yeah, Hollow Mark. Siege. Just type in Siege, yeah.
Hollow Merc.
Merc. Okay, Hollow Merc. Okay. So Hollow Merc Siege, whenever a counter is put on the creature you control, you get to draw a card once a turn. Totally fine. It's only 2 mana. You're going to get a trigger every single turn. This deck has more than enough counters in it to guarantee we're drawing a card every single turn. And then if you need the +1/+1 counters in the attacks, you can use that.
Sure, I buy that.
Yeah, so with a card like this, so this card is very similar to something like Phyrexian Arena, but if you can start if you can start putting counters on other people's turn, it gets really good, and it only costs 2 mana, and you can draw the turn it's played. All 3 of those are what make this so much better than something like a Phyrexian Arena, even though it is comparable.
How are we doing on like beans? Like, do we have enough cards to trigger Beanstalk? Like 5 CMC or more?
Beanstalk.
Not really.
Back up here. No, this is our 5-star tier. Yeah, we're not there for a bean. We're not a beanie deck. Cuts. Let's see. Enlightened Tutor. Oh yeah, I don't think we have enough targets. I understand the inclusion. It does. Oh.
Hammy says you can't touch Enlightened Tutor.
You can't touch. I understand that it gets both pieces of these combo, but overall. No, that's not a new message. I just saw the Jesus Reanimator thing again. It doesn't get enough in this deck, so it's an easy cut. Enlightened Tutor just doesn't need to be here. Arcane Signet, I will go on my same rant. This is a green deck. We do not need Artifact Ramp. Just don't think it's necessary. Easy cuts. Hamza. Where's Hamza? I don't think this card is good enough. I think this card is pretty bad. Honestly, overall, I think it's an easy cut. It just doesn't do anything. I see you going through your.
No, like it's kind of my like. I see where you're going. Is that good enough?
I mean, I can see the connection. I just don't think. I think Hamza just in general is not a good enough card to justify being in most decks.
I think after thinking about it for like 20 seconds, I think that I agree with you.
I get why this is here. So this is clearly you have this and this. Both with thank you, nerd girl.
Thank you.
You made Hammy break Airball's eardrums.
Yeah. Go kick his ass for me.
Go give him pets for me. No ass kicking. Okay. There's these two creatures here, Sigarda and Shalai, do the same thing. They give your planeswalkers and creatures hexproof. I don't like them. I don't think these are good enough to be worth keeping. But it feels like they're a meta call as well. It feels like, in general, his tables might have a lot of spot removal, and he feels these necessary.
Also, I think most of the decks that Big Daddy submitted have been very interested in protecting their commander at all costs.
That's fair. The thing about that's fair. I just think Atraxa doesn't need that much protection, but
I think maybe it does realistically. Just like if you're showing up to a table with this is one of those kill on sight. You are public enemy #1 commanders. I don't know that Shalai is the best way to protect it, but I definitely think it needs protection.
Yeah, I mean, I just like playing instead of things like Shalai and Sigarda. I like playing I would just play extra counter spells if that's
Yeah,
what I
sure.
felt, or I would play a Teferi's Protection as a way of protecting. And I feel like that's much
Or
stronger.
like this is a good place for Snakeskin Veil, like that puts the counter on things. Like,
Yeah, you do have synergies here. Yep, with Snakeskin Veil. Not that that's probably like a Font of Blessing. What the frig is Font of Blessing? Where are you, Font of Blessing? Where are you?
man, if only these were sorted in alphabetical order.
No. You shh. Not for.
Is it a land?
I thought. What is Font of Blessing?
I don't know.
It doesn't even look like it's in here. Dude, I'm going bananas. It's one of those things where it's like, I wrote that right. Does anyone in chat know what Font of Blessing is on the top of their head? Apparently it's not even in the deck. So you should cut the card that's not in your deck. Font of Blessing.
It's a good idea.
You should cut that card. I don't know why. Why did I write that down? My mind is breaking. This is the second time that there's been a card here. Yeah, what is Font of Blessing? Look it up over there.
Fine, you're so needy.
You're needy. So mean. We already have Scryfall opened.
But what if I need that Scryfall search again? Oh,
Oh,
Sigarda.
Sigarda. The comma's throwing me off. It's Sigarda, comma, Font of Blessing. Yeah, cut this. I agree. That's so funny.
Oh.
I just thought like, oh yeah, where's Font of Blessing?
Yep.
And also cut Aggro Constrictor. This card's terrible. Each creature with a counter as menace, not good. Very bad card. Not even close. I don't even think this is remotely close to playable in Commander. All right, some ads.
I do like that we seem to have resisted the impulse to poison people out.
This is not a poison deck. It's the +1/+1 counters deck.
Yeah.
Like, that is. I also agree with that. Let's start with a nice little simple ad. Crystalline Crawler. Easy. It's got Converge, so you can pay 4 colors because this is a 4-color deck. Put a plus, it ends with 4 counters, remove a counter, make a mana. Simple, easy. It can put a counter on itself, and Atraxa is going to proliferate every single turn. This card is real good.
And then you can sell it to someone who doesn't know what they're talking about as though it's a roaming throne.
A Roaming Throne?
Yeah.
What?
The art looks very similar to roaming throne, at least to me.
All right, type in Roaming Throne. I just want to compare now. All right. Yeah, yeah, you're right. They're definitely similar. What's funny about Roaming Throne, it's one of the most expensive cards from that set. For some ungodly reason, I just have 2 of these. I don't know. I barely opened the set. I maybe opened 10 total packs. I have 2.
Ixalan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You went to the pre-release for that
Yeah,
with us,
and I
right?
got it from those. Those were the only packs I opened of the whole set. Was in that pre-release, and I
Damn,
have
and you opened those Vein Rippers too?
2 Vein Rippers, 2 Roaming Thrones. Okay. Let's sit down and chat for a minute. Big Daddy Magic. Sit down. You are playing Pier, Imaginative Rascal. Fair. It cares about +1/+1 counters. It works well. Pier has this ability, partner with. When it enters the battlefield, it can search for Toothy. Why is Toothy not here? We're a blue deck. Put Toothy in the deck. It is a whenever you play Pier, you get Toothy, or whenever you play Toothy, you get Pier. I just can't fathom why would you not want one. Why, if you can play both, why not play both? Like, I've played Pier without Toothy, but I was in a deck that couldn't play Toothy.
I mean, the argument is probably the Toothy doesn't fit.
But he does. He's the counters. He gets +1/+1 counters.
I actually don't remember what Toothy does.
Well, let's look at him. What is going on outside? There's
some satanic ritual.
Yeah, that is some weirdness. How is it going?
Hey, Fatal. I assume that's how you say your name?
Fatic. Fate. Oh, Fatal. Yeah, you're right. That purple is tough to read.
It really is, yeah.
Fatal, yes. Well, hello, Fatal. Welcome.
All right, yeah, Toothy should be in there.
Yeah, Toothy. He's a counters thing. There is the one weird part about Toothy is sometimes when you can't remove him yourself, he gets out of control and kills you. I have seen that before. A Toothy killing you, but I believe it should be in the deck.
But that's almost as fun as winning.
Yeah, that is fair. Dying to a Toothy. Also, this is because we got lots of time because we're actually moving really fast. This is Pierre. You just saw Pierre on Toothy, right? Type in Pierre's something. Type in Pierre's.
Peers.
Yeah. This is not the same child. He doesn't look. That kid is white.
He's gotten significantly darker as he got the inverse Michael Jackson thing going on.
It's just like I mean, Magic. You have a bunch of different artists doing a bunch of different characters. This is funny, but like that is not Pierre. I'm sorry. If this is Pierre, this ain't Pierre.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Another card. If you don't mind budget, which I don't think you do, you're on $1,000 deck. Bristly Bill. Pretty simple new card. I mean, this card's incredible. It is expensive, but
it is the deck in a nutshell.
yes. I mean, whenever a land enters, I mean, this card would be playable if it was just when a land enters, put a counter on it. But then it has more text. This card just so good. This could also make your commander lethal at some points. Like usually Atraxa is not super lethal, but this will get her lethal real quick.
Yeah, this card's messed up.
Yeah. For ramp, you can play Fertilid. It's not like an insane card. It's just enters with 2 counters, remove a counter to go get a land. Simple. Nothing. Kodama of the West Tree. Your modified creatures, when they deal damage, go get a land. Super good as well.
It's sort of the Animist for free.
Yep, exactly. Norn's Core.
That's the propaganda.
No.
Oh no, that's Norn's Annex. Is the
Yes, this is the flying first striker, and whenever a commander you control enters the battlefield or attacks, you proliferate. It's doing exactly what your deck wants. It's just more proliferation on top of your commander as well. Plus,
kind of right. Like, how often do you expect Atraxa to be entering?
well, it's attack as well.
Yeah, I also don't expect it to be attacking all that.
Well, she attacks every turn.
Well,
The thing about Atraxa is she's super good at attacking.
yeah, but she's not super good at staying alive, right? Like, I feel like
Well, then we're casting her. If she dies, we're casting her. If she's on the board, we're attacking.
yeah, I feel like you're ignoring a pretty large fail state where she's died and you can't recast her.
Never happened.
Okay.
Never been there. That's fake news, as the kids say. Ripple of Potential. This is a second deck. Let's put that back in. This is a second deck where Ripple of Potential is absurd. We're a +1/+1 counter stack, so we get to. Where's Ripple of Potential? It's an instant.
Why not run Crucible of Worlds? Why run Crucible of Worlds? This Crucible of Worlds doesn't seem like a fit for this deck.
It works. So I'm trying to be competitive. The other one's trying to be. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. This deck doesn't really.
Oh, Crucible of Worlds and Command Beacon to solve the problem of. All right.
He's solving
yeah,
everything.
sure.
Yeah. High five.
You got me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns on Bristly Bill too.
Yeah, it turns on Bristly Bill. So Ripples of Potential, I mean, it's a free proliferate, and everything you just proliferated, it's protection as well. This card's great. I mean, any +1/+1 counter, any counters deck just wants this card, I think. I don't imagine I would build a counters deck and be like, yeah, I don't want Ripples of Potential. Forget that.
Yeah.
Card is great. And then what else do I have? Oh, one more. Oh, yeah. If you like powerful, and you like powerful, add the One Ring. You proliferate. I mean, I know you can say for every deck add the One Ring, right? It's an easy add, but this deck also on top of that has synergy with the One Ring.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the One Ring index where it belongs, as opposed to just being a generically powerful card.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're already playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game changers. There's no 6 game changers. There's no reason this deck shouldn't be also playing a 7th game changer in the One Ring. Maybe, and I don't think it's a budget consideration because you're already on a $1,400 deck.
Yeah.
So, yep, this deck it's made to do its thing. Also, Cut and Negate. I forgot to mention this one. There's so many better counter spells. Play Arcane Denial. Play Counter Spell. Play anything that's not Negate.
You can probably support Dovin's Veto as well.
Dovin's Veto is super solid. There's just a million better things. If Veggie wasn't, if he wasn't hearing his ears ring, because I'm going to say cut fracture, but Veggie likes fracture, so apparently we need to leave it in because I don't want to deal with the wrath of Veggie.
Wrath of Veggie is like 2 white get mad at target creatures.
Get slightly annoyed.
Yeah. All creatures are annoyed. They can't plug their ears. That's it.
Oh my god. You can take one look at. No, we don't have any. We don't have extra time to look at extras, but thank you.
So,
go ahead.
If you do want your deck to be looked at, the way we do this is we look at patron decks that are submitted about a month ahead of time. We do this a month in advance. So if you want us to look at your decks, you can head on over to our Patreon. It should be linked right below the YouTube page where this is being streamed. Otherwise, someone can send the link in the chat.
Oh, hey, Benji. How's it going, Benji? We're actually under our last deck. We have been speedy today. Know what this means?
What does this mean?
Because this has been one of the fastest one of these. Veggie is the one who makes them take forever.
Yes. As if there was any doubt.
So, I want to start with this. CODIS, this is submitted by Dittos. And this is just a pump spell and counter. So you want to make your commander bigger because when CODIS deals damage, you look at the top X with the damage that is the amount of damage dealt, and you can play the any number of those cards with mana value X or less, which is the damage dealt
Without playing their mana cost. Yeah.
Yes. So
it's funny that that's just like a given at this point.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, well, obviously. You inspired me. So when CODIS was first spoiled, I've been wanting a steal your stuff deck for a while. I'm a big fan of that archetype, but I haven't been able to find anything I like. Like every time I build a deck or look at something, nothing feels good. And I didn't like this card at first either. I was like, no, this doesn't do it for me. And then my first suggestion for this deck, which this deck doesn't actually have, is mutate creatures. CODIS can mutate.
Yes.
It is a zombie warrior and apparently nothing else. I don't know how it's not an elf or anything, but whatever. I always hate that. It's like when it died, it was something, right? Like it was a human, it was an elf. It was something. How is this not a zombie elf warrior?
And there are zombie elves, I think.
Yes, you're 100% right. So was CODIS born a zombie? born undead? But mutate. Let's just put in one mutate. As soon as I fix this, because I'm gonna go bad. We'll just put in. Trimi is fine.
That one I don't know how to spell. This?
That's right. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter, but you can play as many of these as we want. And this one actually, this one lets you play other ones. Doesn't matter, but you get to turn your commander into a 6/6 by mutating Otrimi onto it. And whatever creature's on top is the power toughness that it has. And this lets you play more mutate from your graveyard. So if you get more mutate creatures, it's even more synergy, but you don't need to play more. You don't need to even play this one. There's the best, if you just want to play one, Brokos, it's probably the 2Ks, I believe. Yes. This is probably, if you only want to play one, this is probably the one to play. You build Cultist Mutate. Now it's not original. Now I'm not going to build a Benji. But
saved Joe a bunch of money.
I've already put it together. I've already started putting it together. But Brokos Apex Forever is probably the easiest because this one can be cast from your graveyard. So you can mutate it from your graveyard even if it falls off. It also makes him a 6/6 with trample. This one is the easy go-to mutate card. I'd play a bunch. I would honestly put in. I put in all the mutate in my deck, but I would put in the best mutate cards that you like. Yeah. Brokos is the go-to simple awesome card.
Yeah, and Paradise Druid is an awesome target for mutate cards, and we have Stonecoil Serpent or something. We could add that. Adds counters.
Benji said he took his apart. Well,
okay.
That's fair.
It's fine.
Then it's fair. Now it's original again. Now it's fun and original.
Are you original?
Me? No. Definitely not.
Just to say, yeah.
What is that from?
Backstreet Boys.
Am I original? Yeah. Okay. Good. Don't talk while I drink. I don't.
I'm gonna keep doing that.
It has been a theme. Okay. More cuts. What is a Zur Beastbinder? That's up here.
Oh, that's the thing that makes things lose abilities or whatever. Yeah, it's the 2-drop.
A Zur Beastbinder. Yeah, this card makes no sense to me. I don't get it.
Well, it has the ability can't be blocked. I think that's the point.
Okay, I do get it. I don't think it's good. I think we're just gonna pump Codus and make him in other ways, or give him flying with there's lots of mutate creatures with flying. Give him invasion some other way. You don't want a creature that needs to attack for your commander. So it's like if they don't have an answer for your commander and they're worried about it, and that they think they're gonna get attacked, they'll kill this instead. It just doesn't work very well. Thrumming Bird, I think Thrumming Bird is pretty butts. I know we have some of a +1/+1 counters theme, but in this deck specifically, not enough to justify a Thrumming Bird. I don't think. I think you need to have like a go wide counters kind of thing, kind of like a Atraxa where everything has a counter on it.
Yeah.
But Thrumming Bird doesn't really work for.
Speaking of going wide, we do have the random hoof.
Yeah, we do have a hoof. It doesn't really feel necessary. I do like. It's not the best way to give all your creatures flying, but this works. I mean, it's not terrible. Archetype of Imagination. It's like in that spot of like, okay.
I think I would rather have Wonder. Like, we're in Sultai. We can put stuff in our graveyard pretty easily.
I think the current build doesn't do that well enough to justify a Wonder. But yeah, I could see in a different world, in a different build, I could see that. I really like this in here. This is like Whisper Silk Cloak, but like only once for Shroud. Or is it Shroud or is it Hexproof?
Gain Shroud till end of turn.
Yeah, because they literally wanted to make it like Whisper Silk Cloak. That's why. I like the Ether Spark. That's a sweet card. What is it? Revitalizing Repast. What is that? All right, fine. I concede. I concede.
Not there. Not there. Not there. Not there.
The land?
No. Is it just the same thing that happened with the other thing? Where is it?
Type it in here. Let's see.
Revitalizing Repast.
But that doesn't help.
Well, it helps because I was looking for V's. It's not there. Nope. Nope. No.
Oh my god. I'm the worst. What did I do? Is it a creature? Is it something revitalizing repast? Where are you? No, it's right here. This revitalizing repast.
I mean, try putting it in there, and then we'll see if it was there or not.
Where is it?
There it is. It's the flip.
Oh, no, it's been.
So it wasn't
I
there.
have it in cuts. Oh, that. Oh, I think that was supposed to be an ad.
I see.
Okay, this is just supposed to be an ad. Yeah, it adds a counter and it's a tap and it's a dual land in your deck. Yeah, add that. I just had it in the wrong section. I had it under the cuts, but this is also an ad. The bridge work battle. It's just another fight spell, perfect for your commander. Yeah, I guess I had a cut in the ads, so made it a little confusing. This card, well, going back to the vegetables, I didn't actually talk about that. This deck is mostly good on veggies. It needs 1 or 2 more lands. Add in a couple lands. Add in like 2 draw spells. And I would change up some of the ramp. I would just add, I would add your Nature's Lures, your Sky Shroud Claims, and your 3 Visits. The simple little package just to make your ramp a little better. Oh, because we don't want, no Felwar Stone, no Arcane Signet is my ice cold take for the 7th deck. I think it is. I'll yell at everyone for that one. What else we got? Let's see. Oh yeah, I suggest a Snakeskin Veil for this deck.
Vinwixit is weird. It's right. It's
I need to do this. Where is it? Now where is it? Find it now.
Far right, second from the top.
Yes.
It's an awesome card. I just don't know that we're actually doing it.
Yes, this is a cut. Yeah, easy cut. We are trying to hit a lot, but like, we're also our card draw comes from taking their cards a lot of the time, which is why like card draw in this deck isn't like super necessary. Let's see what else do we have. There was something else in this deck. I was actually just. Oh yeah, Ovia. We don't need Ovia. She doesn't really do anything. She's not very strong in this deck. We don't have a ton of big creatures. She's just okay anyway. I don't think she's very good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, if you have like 5,000 big creatures, sure, but
so we have Notion Thief and Demonic Tutor. Do we have a third game changer?
Demonic Tutor,
Fierce Guardianship.
Fierce Guardianship. Yep. I mean that's 3 game changers is fair if you want to be in 3. If you want to go down, I would just cut those. I think this deck could be a 2 pretty easily. It doesn't seem overpowered at all. Seems completely fair. I mean, this is one of those cards that it really doesn't matter how you build a deck. It's going to be fair. It's just this card isn't inherently unfair unless you just build a CDH deck with him at the helm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the entire archetype. Like, stealing your opponent's stuff varies massively depending on how good your opponent's stuff is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, this card's so cool. Let's see. Abyssal Prosecutor?
Abyssal Persecutor. That's the
one where you can't win?
You can't win and your opponents can't lose.
Do you want us to add that to the deck so we can't win?
Why do we want that card?
We don't. I don't think so. I don't know why. I do like that this is a first time chat message. Thank you for the Abyssal Persecutor. I appreciate you.
I have it in Blim, where it's actually good.
Mutate is the best for clones, sure, but we don't need to mutate and that. I don't think it's that confusing. I mean, it's a little confusing. Hi, Squeemon, which is a great name.
Ivy Mutate confuses the hell out of me.
Ivy, yes, because you have to remake it on every creature. You have to have 2 of them. I had an Ivy Mutate deck,
and then sometimes you have to stack all of the different mutates. And one mutate resolving affects the other one somehow. Yeah, no, it's a disaster.
Ivy's great. What do you mean? But then you can keep all of their stuff after they take 21.
Don't kill your opponent.
Yeah, if your opponents can't lose,
then you get to keep their stuff, which you can use to kill your opponents who can't lose.
That is.
But at that point, you'll probably just win.
You can't.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, we can't win. We have a Abyssal Prosecutor. It says you can't win.
It's the first line of the card.
Sanctuary is a great include. What? On a Sanctuary? What Sanctuary?
I think it was in one of the Universes Beyond decks, but I didn't know what it was. Maybe it wasn't.
Oh no, this is an old ass card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a blue or black permanent, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Oh, it gets +5/+5. Yeah,
That's pretty bad.
I looked at this card and I decided I didn't think it was a very good ad, but it is cool. So if you're looking for cool cards, I would put it in. I just don't think it's very good.
It doesn't do anything.
It's just
right? Like,
the fact that it doesn't provide any evasion or even it doesn't provide a real permanent buff either because this could be removed. So it's in this awkward spot of like, can't we just play something better? And most of the time the answer is just yes, you can't play something better. Let's see. What other? Marcus the Mutant. What is that? Let's type in Marcus the Mutant. Marcus the Mutant, Vigilance Trample. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to your draw a card. If that creature had a +1/+1 counter on it. If it doesn't put a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, so this is just another way to draw some cards in our... Because this deck has a sub-theme of +1/+1 counter. So it's a way to actually draw some cards and get a counter onto our commander for some synergy. What else do we got? Favor of Forbearing.
Overbearing.
You don't tell me how to
It's
read.
your writing.
+5/+5 is not bad.
Being.
It's not bad.
So you misread your own writing, which was also incorrect.
So my writing was wrong. My reading of it was wrong, and this is the name of the card.
Yep.
Yes, it gives vigilance and flying and +2/+2. See, I like this. See, like I like a card like this a lot more because this provides evasion on top of your.
And it costs 2 instead of 3. And that's a huge difference.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the honest thing. It's cute. It's so cute, right? Thanks for the follow.
Ezio Grazio.
Ezio, that's a great name. Ezio Grazio. I do like that. Also, I didn't say it was bad. Don't you put...
I think I said it was bad.
Oh, you're allowed to say it's bad, yeah. I didn't say that.
I don't know. I just really don't like cards that I draw when I'm hellbent or my board is empty and they just don't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, that is definitely in that theme. Let's see, what else do we have? Rancor. I mean, this is the most obvious include. I'm not pretending like I'm some kind of genius. Rancor is +2/+0 trample, goes back to your hand when your creature dies. I mean, I'm not a genius for saying Rancor, but it also isn't in here. So Rancor should be in here. Let's Indomitable Might. This is the card I think should be in here. This is the one I'm a genius for thinking of. But
I think it might.
Indomitable Might. Creature gets +3/+3, but it does one key thing. It can deal damage as though it weren't blocked, which is exactly what this commander needs.
That card is so much better with flash than without.
Yes, it is. But it's just solid in this deck. I mean, our commander is going to get chumped. Our commander is going to get blocked by every single thing that can block it. This goes right around. Who cares what you block with? 100? I deal damage as if I weren't blocked. And I'm very confident about it.
Apparently.
The 13th Doctor.
The 13th Doctor. I mixed them all up.
I don't know what any of them do off the top of my head. The 13th Doctor. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, every single Coda spell, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Codus. And then at the beginning of your end step, untap each creature with hand. That doesn't really matter, though. Codus is a really good blocker when you start pumping things, so it does have some synergy, but every single Codus spell is not from your hand. So the 13th Doctor has a ton of synergy. Oh, Guardian Augmenter. I do know what this one does, but... So... This card's $15. Ugh. This first thing, this card's not worth $15. Proxy. But this card is not a card I would suggest almost ever. There's something special about Codus, though, in that he has Indestructible. Because Codus has Indestructible, hexproof abilities become so much better. Your commander is already avoiding a ton of stuff as it is. So adding hexproof on top of that really is just like, oh my god, this is unkillable. So I actually think this combined with the pump makes this actually a very good card in this deck. This is a card I don't think I've probably built 150 green decks over time, and I've never included this.
Well, if you talk to Veggie about it, all 150 of those decks are the same.
Oh, damn. He was coming for me. Mm-hmm. Hey, if you submit me generic red-black sacrifice deck and I give you generic red-black suggestions, that's not my fault.
No, take it up with Veggie.
I am going to take it up with Veggie. I was already planning on it. That little son of a poop.
We've reached the point in the show where people are sons of poop.
Sons of poop.
Not that we started from a particularly high point, but...
Oh yeah.
Wow. Malltown with the big raid. Welcome, everyone.
What? Maul came in with a raid? Oh, we're getting the statistics.
Is this the spider eating statistic, or is this a...
No.
It's a different statistic.
No, it's something really dumb.
Indestructible Justin, who has 12 indestructible commanders in his deck, is an outlier and should have been excluded. Yeah. Spiders, George, but Voltron. Okay.
Yeah, Spiders.
Well, I'm glad he's getting so much mileage out of it.
Spiders, Voltron.
We are reviewing our last Patron deck for the month.
Yeah,
you've caught us just at the end.
Yeah, thank you so much for the raid, and thanks for coming in. Spiders George, for those who want to know, does make a cameo, the actual Spiders George, of being mentioned in our first podcast that when it is.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
Spiders George is part of the podcast. Don't you? That's what you learned about Spiders George.
No. I learned about it in a previous game I played with Malton. It's not my fault. Malton's entire personality is Spiders George.
Even funnier, Spiders George. The Veggie asked. That's right. Veggie asked about Spiders George. I thought it was you from off camera, but it was Veggie who doesn't know about Spiders George. Invigorate. I'm not a big fan of instant speed pump spells overall, like single time, one time pump, but Invigorate costs you nothing. This costs you, give an opponent 3 life, give +4/+4. Easy. Like this literally costs nothing. Free to cast, play it. Like +4/+4 is 4 more cards from your opponent's deck and 4 higher cost. Incredible.
It's actually really kind of cute too with an indestructible commander, because one of the ways people will get around it is with like Toxic Deluge or Meathook Massacre, and they'll think you're tapped out.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that is actually a big potential. I like that a lot. And last, Stonewood Invocation. What do we got? Oh, I did this for Veggie. Veggie's version of this deck plays this card, and I know Veggie loves this card, so I did include this only for Veggie. This is +5/+5 for 4 with split second. It is terrible.
I think all you really need is 4 mana, instant, split second, and terrible.
Yeah, and now Veggie's
and you've got Veggie.
Yeah, I mean it does. The good thing, this card does have some upside. The fact that it makes it hexproof after resolving is very strong. So you're getting the combination of split second and hexproof. This thing is dealing damage almost guaranteed once you cast it. But does that make it good? That's for Veggie to decide. And the answer is no.
It's for Veggie to decide, but we will decide for it.
Yeah, we've already decided for Veggie that the answer is no. And there's one card I added in here that I don't even... It's hiding in here. Oh, it's here. Get out of here, Guardian Augmenter. But yeah, I think we did it.
I think we did it.
We kicked ass today. That was a 4-hour one. About 20 minutes a deck.
Yeah, pretty like bang on. That was our target.
Yeah, and I feel like we covered everything too. Like I didn't feel like I only felt like we were speeding through because last time it was slow.
Well, you were with Veggie, yeah.
But this went really well. If any of y'all, especially, want to have your decks reviewed, we do this via Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/decked out, baby.
Decked out.
I don't know if it's actually with the.
I think it's Tournament Grounds, actually. I think it's patreon.com/Tournament Grounds.
Yes, but you head over there and
yeah, there it is. It's in the Twitch chat.
Oh yeah, who did that? Yeah, thank you. You're the best. HGMZWC.
And it's gone. So anyway, yeah, head on over. There's a Patreon tier where we will review your decks once a month.
Yep. We'll make. I'll try and get Nergal to make a new tier where for $100, Airball will eat the plushie. That was not as far as it went last time.
I mean, you guys, if you guys missed it, you missed it.
Oh my god, this was fun. I had a great time.
Me too. All right, well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hope you got something out of it. And yeah, we will see you next month. Later.
I know what I almost just said. The old nitpicking nerd sign out. Peace out, Tribe Scouts. Actually, that's mine. Beezy actually said I could have that. Peace out, Tribe Scouts.
Taste it, Beezy. All right.